Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. We are here at Twitch Studios. We are the Mix San Francisco, and we're going to be showing you some indie games today. I have with me my co-host, Justin Woodward. How are you doing today, Justin?
I'm good. It was a late night. We had the Mix last night. We had a gang of games. So yeah. I'm in here, and it's on and popping.
On and mopping.
On and popping.
And we also have here with us John. How are you doing, John?
Pretty good, yeah. Considering all things.
Yeah,
GDC.
GDC week is
2019.
begun. Yeah, it's been pretty intense.
The first night.
How's it been so far?
Went pretty hard, but it was good. Yeah, we had a good time. The Mix was dope. Congratulations.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah. So at the Mix, we had, what was it, 56 indie games last night showing
56.
all in one place. What's the goal of the Mix? Like, why do you have so many indie games in one place?
Well, the goal is basically to cultivate awareness for indie game developers, get visibility. I'm a game developer myself, so when I was just starting around 2012, we were working on our first game. We were having we were in the IGN incubator, we were having some issues ourselves getting visibility. We were working crazy 12, 16-hour days. And so we were just like, hey, let us set up some monitors in the kitchen or whatever, and let us show the games that we've been working on. And we ended up having the media come through, and just amazing developers. We had this good energy, our culture was there, and we ended up doing it every year since 2012. So it's been around 7 years.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And it's going strong, and you're expanding. I feel like I see you at more events every year.
Yeah, we're trying to do too much.
That's the way.
Yeah. Like last night it was crazy, so we packed up the show last night, and we have the show at IGN, the Asian Game Showcase. We had a van. we had a van like struggling all the stuff in there. It was like 2 in the morning, muscling stuff up to IGN, just making sure that we're ready for that night. The team was all extra tired, but we have 3 shows at this particular GDC, wow. And we're doing stuff internationally. Bit Summit type situations. We did Type 8. What? The crispy shirt. Yeah, it was the Asian Game Showcase shirt, repping it tough. But yeah, I mean, we've been trying to expand, doing things in South America, Asia, that kind of like just different things, and in the States as well, just to maximize exposure for developers, and even like publishers and PR and people who are trying to get in touch with indies, just genuine people who kind of love the culture, and the people who are providing this like really excellent content.
Yeah, it's a really great energy. I feel like at any game event, but especially indie events, they hold a special place in my heart because there's a certain passion that comes with being in the indie sphere. Yeah. And what's really exciting is we have 7 games today, as I mentioned earlier, that we're going to be showing off. And John David, is it Davis?
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah.
John Davis.
it's kind of hard to pronounce, I know.
Don't worry, I'll do my best.
It's a tough name. Not common, John Davis at all.
But you've got a game that we're going to be showing off in just a second. So let's jump to the trailer first so the folks at home can get a peek at what it is.
That's a very short trailer.
But it's so cute.
I like it's like really crafty.
But cool. We're gonna play a little of the game and give you a better idea of just what is in store. Where am I looking?
I think right over there. There we go.
My mouse not really active.
Maybe while the mouse is waking up, could you tell us a little bit about the story behind RPG Time?
So RPG Time is a basically handcrafted RPG made by an elementary school student. I don't know if you guys have ever played like choose your own adventure games.
Yeah.
This is like that taken like 100-fold, right? So you'll see that our narrator has created this adventure, and he's playing it with his friends after school, after the bell is rung. So as soon as we can get the mouse going, we'll ring the bell. Ding! I saw the bell ring.
It wants to be rung.
It wants to. I know that's not working. And so this is made by a team in Kansai, Deskworks. They showed the game for the first time last year at Bit Summit, and I hope we got technical support here. And I believe it won an award last year for best visuals at the show.
Yeah.
This is scheduled to be released this year. We're still.
And so when they say handcrafted, it really means like, did the developers hand draw all of these assets?
Yeah, everything is drawn to like resemble. I don't know exactly how they did it, but everything is drawn to resemble, a notebook with just, with a number 2 pencil.
Yeah.
And you'll see an eraser. And you'll see like as we adventure through RPG time, whenever it starts. There are, the pencil comes out and draws on the paper, and the eraser comes out and erases stuff, and it's all made to like really simulate the idea that you're playing this game on your desk with somebody else like across from you.
That's so adorable.
How long did the development team? How long are they working on it?
So I think this has been in development for about 1.5 years. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, I think we got maybe. And they are aiming to release it this year. So hopefully, we'd like to play the full game soon. I'd like to play the game now, maybe. Live TV.
It's an adventure.
It is.
It's the beauty of live TV.
Live RPG time. Man.
Live RPG time, yeah. So is this, so what kind of, is it like more like very strategic types of battles? Like what kind of battle system is in this RPG?
It's pretty simple. Yeah, traditional. You're not going to see like the big turn-based, like active battle systems or anything like that. It's very much like, okay, I'm decided to go this way, and you have a different path, and then you might have a fight, and it's not overly complicated.
There you go.
Yay!
Yeah, all right, let's ring the bell.
Super cute. What do they use for reference? Or have you talked to them about that?
You mean like
do they have like a bunch of drawings from their kids or like something like that?
I think all like Japanese kids kind of play a game like this. All right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we have the choice. You want to play some soccer? How about basketball? That sounds a little too involved, man. Maybe let's sit down and play video games.
Yeah.
All right. I love this guy here. This is our narrator.
Yeah, I love the contrast between the really sort of like flat style and then the doodles. That's really cute.
All right.
Presentation is dope.
It's RPG time. All right, Kenta is our narrator, and he's gonna.
Oh, and so there's a series of episodes. So is each one kind of a little mission that you go on or a quest?
Yeah, so we're gonna start with the prologue. Here's our music.
Cute.
Let's begin. The song of game.
The music is cool.
Yeah, perfect. All right, check out the status screen I made with these beads.
Perlers!
Yeah, isn't this cute? Like.
I love to craft and doodle, and so seeing this is like very heartwarming.
All right. You can make your own RPG time. I'm expecting it. All right, loading complete. You know the drill. Just push start.
Oh, nice.
It's got a little bit of a, I don't know if you know that Kirby, like the Kirby game from the
Yarn?
one.
Yeah.
Kind of that aesthetic a little bit with some of the stuff. Like this definitely looks like handcrafted.
Oh, wow.
So will this be for PC, like PC, or it'll be? console
Yeah,
as well?
this is coming to all platforms.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Till one day, a huge black card game. And there's our hero.
Oh wow.
Spiky hair,
That's
flowing
really-
coat. Right. I love the play on words there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's right.
All right, the gentle people, this beloved princess.
Wow.
The castle's in chaos. The horrible demon army is closing in fast. Flames and arrows rain down upon the humans, fight desperately for their lives. Do I need to read all this? I'm a terrible narrator. I'm like all of my like dyslexia is like coming to me like no. All right, here comes our hero. And he's pretty strong. But suddenly, the big
Oh
boss,
no!
the demon lord appears. Justin, why don't you play the demon lord?
I'll play this.
Yeah,
What do I have to do?
you have to say ha 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 ha. So
Oh, you want me? Okay. I was about to grab your hand.
Action.
Surrender yourself, human.
All right.
Ooh.
I'm a demon lord, death god. I will conquer and rule the earth from now on.
Scary. Scary
You
stuff.
love it.
I love it. That's the best. They need to get you for the VO.
Yeah.
Right?
Sign that contract.
Yeah.
Wait, so what are you clicking on? Like,
I'm just right now just moving the story forward.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So there's no action yet.
Yeah.
All right. So you could be the princess.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No, no, you were so into
Lord. You are welcome here. This is the sacred land of light and no place for a vile creature such as you. Nobody saw that, did they? Just heard me.
Silence, brat. Don't make me drag you out of your own castle.
Man, this dude is not, he's not woke. He's not up on the Me Too movement.
You can run, but you can't hide.
That's really good, man.
No, really?
All right.
Here, I could be the narrator.
Oh, okay, there we go.
All right, and so our hero runs like mad toward his maiden in distress. Clang,
And we can see
bash.
every time he's slaying someone,
But will
those
he
little
be able
post-it
to
note.
rescue her from the demon lord?
this little post-it note that gives his experience. You'll see it on the side there. You see these here. Defeated.
The
XP.
cinematics are so endearing. It's super cool.
Surprise! I made this part into a manga. Oh my goodness, that's so cute with the sticky notes. Our hero hurries deep into the castle. Thud, 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 thud. Zap, zap.
Our hero.
The princess is mine.
The demon lord is just too strong. It's just not fair.
You dare to challenge me? Your funeral.
The demon lord attacks. Miss. Right dodged it. Right's turn.
That is sick.
Wow. Oh, raw special move. Jump slash.
Let's see what the jump slash does.
So this gameplay is really accessible to a lot of different, like, people who maybe aren't familiar with games are
Yeah.
gonna be okay playing this and still enjoy themselves, right?
Yeah, I think this is like, you know, casuals could play this. I think a lot of like retro people are gonna want to play, like older people will play this because it kind of
Yeah.
reminds them of maybe the stuff that they do. Whenever.
So what is that part of it where you're? Were you actually selecting anything there?
No, not
Okay.
yet. Not yet.
What a bore. That was it. Hey, Misery, get the princess out of here.
With his henchman.
Our hero picks up his blade and gives chase. I like the cat that
So
peeks
long,
out.
hero.
Our hero rises, however.
Gah, have a nice trip.
Oh no!
Oh, nice.
Mr. Right! The demon lord blew the hero out of the castle.
That was fun.
Oh wow! This is a big world map.
All right. So in order to, we had kind of running a little late, so I'm gonna just get through here so we can see some of the game. Welcome to Great Cave, Chapter 1. All right. This is where we're gonna start. So this is the game screen for the setting for our first mission. And there's our HP here.
Oh, that's cute.
On the ruler. Once it reaches 0 centimeters, the game is over. Sorry, we use metric.
That's okay. We can
Like,
learn.
how many inches is that?
Yeah.
I was like trying to calculate it.
We use this our
Oh,
D-pad.
so now this is opening up
Yep.
more controls for you to be able to access.
All right, so let's move right. Get up, right. Get up.
That's super.
That's really cute.
Now let's go explore the cave. All right, I'm gonna walk in this way.
Oh, so does this have any like adventure game elements then, as well as you're clicking through the pictures? Can you interact with those?
Yeah, it looks like we found something here in the grass. The beanpole grass. Watch out for sticky burrs. Taking a stroll. I forgot the most important part. All right, sudden events. I might draw in treasure chest. This kid can draw pretty fast.
I was gonna say, much better artist than I am.
Yeah. Our erase a path. He's gonna give us another way though, because we got to get the treasure.
So will any friends join him on his adventures? Will we have any teammates eventually? Or is that spoiling?
That's we don't want to talk too much about Wright's adventures. What kind of ladder would you guys rather have? A cool ladder or a cute one?
A cool one.
Cool one.
A cool one? You guys are so one cool ladder coming up. Heroes got to be cool. That's true. Ooh.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's a dragon. All right, so let's go over. Use the up button here. So this is really accessible. You know, like you don't have to be a super duper gamer
Right.
to click. It's kind of reminiscent of like old school games like a Myst or
Reminds me of like a Maniac Mansion.
Oh no!
Like that type of thing.
Oh, so that's how much HP
yeah.
you'll get dinged if you
All right.
accidentally get hit.
So you do have to time it a little.
Oh, oh,
Oh!
oh.
You got a hat?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, well-
Defense 1. Wait.
I'm like, I like winning outfits. Oh no!
7 damage. Get out of there, right? Into a pancake. Game over. His defense is too low.
That's cool.
Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Oh, so there's a hint section.
Let's see. If you want to hit, push the slap button. What the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap, 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 slap. Mash the button. Come on, right? Get up. Yes, let's try again. Let's try to get through this one part one more time here. You want to try? Would you like?
I'll try.
All right.
Wait.
It looks like if you can get a hat, if you stand in the first part there.
Oh, I could have got that.
Yeah.
So do I just click here?
So you use the D-pad down at the bottom.
Oh, duh. I was like looking at that shit the whole time.
Oh, you want the hard hat.
Yeah, with that plus defense.
Yeah, that one's on. Go back, go back, go back. You don't want that. Yeah. Oh, the hard. Oh, let's
What about
see.
this one? This is a crab hat?
Ooh, that's nice. 10 defense and
10
it
defense.
looks super cute.
When you hit with that 50 boulder, get smashed up real quick.
Oh!
Oh,
No!
I think we need the hard, not the hard hat maybe. Let's see if we
Oh,
can
like that armor,
Yeah.
that full helmet.
Well, we got a couple minutes. So when is the release for this? Or you guys are still touring it, still in development?
Yeah, so this will be at Bit Summit this year. It's a good segue to talk about the show. And I know that they're shooting for 2019, but you know how game development is, you know. Especially indie game development. This is a small team. And as you can see, there's a lot of love that's gone into this game. So hopefully they'll make it this year and everybody get a chance to play it. But you can still come play it at Bit Summit in Kyoto on
Awesome.
June 1st and 2nd.
Woo.
So yeah.
And if people want to find out more online about this game, are there Twitter accounts or any social handles that they can look up, or a website?
Yeah, you can look up deskworks.jp or their Twitter account, which is deskworks_ENG.
Awesome. Oh, perfect, and it's right up
and
there.
it's
too.
right up there. It's not my account. So yeah, so it'll be at Bit Summit, and it's funny, like you were saying that the mix has been around for 7 years. Like we've been around for 7 years as well. We're kind of like show brothers.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I mean, when we first met when I was in Kyoto, and people were talking about you. I was working with some other folks who knew you, and like, yeah, it's cool. Now I see you at every single show. You know what I mean? Like,
hard to miss. But yeah, we're really proud of the show. It grew from like something really small, like the mix, to at like 200 people in our first event. We had myself and James Milkey and Tomi-san at Q. We kind of got together, and Milkey he was like, we should do an indie show, and I thought it was a crazy idea. Because I couldn't really envision what he was trying to do. But the first show, we had some speakers come through. We had about 20 developers, about 5 media outlets came through, and it just started growing from there. To last year, I think we had about 11 or 12,000 people.
That is huge.
Yeah, it's in Kyoto, Japan. Sorry, I'm just saying everybody come, but I know that that's not completely possible.
But if you're in the area.
But if you'd like an excuse to go to Japan, developers, publishers, yeah, please come out. This year, I think, will be our biggest year yet. We have our biggest space that we've ever reserved. So I'm really excited about it.
It's great.
Yeah. We'll be announcing the games in April. Yeah,
Awesome.
We've got like 105 games. So tons of Japanese indies.
Yeah, can you describe the scene a little bit? Like the way, in Kyoto, in Japan, and in general, like the indie scene, because it is definitely different than it is here.
The indie scene, like one of the reasons that we wanted to start Bit Summit was to try to emulate what was going on in Europe and in the US with the indie scenes, where they were kind of congealing, like in Seattle had their own scene and Boston had their scene and whatnot. The same for the European countries, and Japanese devs weren't really talking to each other as much at that time, and so we thought, like, if we can get everybody together and show them the value in cooperating, and also that there's a viable market for indies for their games in the West, and bring the Western media over to show them, then maybe people can start talking and start getting together. And we've seen that happen over the past like 7 years. I think the scene is stronger. We have Tokyo Indies every month in Tokyo, and just a collective of developers get together and show their games. And Kyoto as well, with Kyoto Indies. And we try to have a really relaxed show. It's not you don't see the big, huge AAA booths or whatnot. Just basically a lot of indie games, and developers are right there to talk to them. So
yeah, I remember when I went, you had Twitch support, and you had the 2 Twitch stages. You had like they had one up front, and then you guys had all this cool stuff going on with like different games where a bunch of like high level indies were playing with each other and that kind of thing, and it really added to the vibe of the show. And then you go outside, and Kyoto is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like kind of in the wilderness.
Amazing.
Yeah. It is definitely worth, going.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite city in Japan. I lived there for 2 years and I loved it. I find a lot of developers want to come to Japan, or they've been to Japan and they've only done Tokyo, multiple times. They go to TGS. So to actually get out and to a different city and experience that, and also see a different development scene is really attractive for people. So you'll be able to watch. If you can't come, you can watch on, I believe we'll be on Twitch and during the show. So, watch the stream, check out the games, maybe see this guy.
Yep. Maybe doing some mix stuff there.
Nice.
Maybe see me.
I'm gonna have some extra crispy shirts.
Yeah.
Starched and ironed.
And I think everyone loves our Bit Summit t-shirts. We do like a special one every year. We have a special mascot every year. And I think we're gonna have a merch store coming up this year as well, so you can buy your own Bit Summit t-shirt.
Throwbacks.
I don't know about the throwbacks.
Can't
get this one no more. Get at me.
They're gonna be bidding on your shirt.
Yeah. We'll see when things get hard. John needs to make some money.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
RPG time looks amazing, and it's cool to hear more about Bit Summit. You know.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited for the show. Excited to be working with you guys. And yeah.
Awesome.
Let's have some fun.
So we will be right back. We're going to switch it up and find another indie game to show off to you. So stay around.
Let's do this! Take that! Oh, fat loot! Come see my shiny new astrology chart! That's what happens when gasoline plays matches. Oh yeah. And that's what happens. And that's what happens when gasoline plays matches. Whoa. And that's what happens. Water, I need this like water.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream. My name is Jenny Windom, and again, we are here at the Twitch studios talking about the games from the mix. So last night, if you missed it, there was an incredible event on Livestream featuring 7 games, but we've got 7 more here for you today. And next to me, of course, is Justin, my fellow co-host, and we have the developer of Relic Hunters here, Mark.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, how are you having great GDC so far?
Yes, tiring, but just starting.
How was your show last night?
Oh, it was awesome.
Showing the game at
yeah,
the
it
mix.
was really fun. Really crowded. Really fun. Yes.
Did you meet some interesting contacts or?
I think I did, yeah. And I also seen a lot of cool games, man. Like the level of the games was just up there. Super good.
What was one of the games that stood out for you?
For me, it's Young Souls.
Oh, yeah.
That game, man.
Yeah.
We were, yeah.
Can I swear here?
Yeah.
That looked fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah, but what we're really excited about is learning more about Relic Hunters.
Right.
So could you tell us a little bit? We saw the trailer, but what is Relic Hunters? What's the story behind it?
So it's kind of a stupid game to do as an indie, because it's like Destiny or Warframe, but we're like 10 people, and it's kind of crazy.
It's ambitious.
But it is. But we're all veterans, so we always joke around like this is the kind of game that people try to do straight out of college because they don't know how hard games are to do.
Totally.
And they say, hey, let's just make an online game, you know? It's like this open world and loot, and you can play for friends and everything, and it's just crazy. And but we feel like now we're kind of ready. Like we've been making games for over 10 years on average, like at Rogue. We're from Brazil, and we've done like Dungeonland before. We've done a game called Chroma Squad.
Oh.
You did Chroma
You know
Squad.
Chroma Squad?
You
Yes.
guys showed it. You showed Chroma Squad at the 2014 mix.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Great
here with
game.
Solo, probably, yes. But
There was another game I feel like. Chroma Squad. That's like the Power Rangers sort
Yes.
of. Yeah. Oh, that's a
The
great
game
game.
is dope. Yeah.
thanks.
Wait,
So-
where are you guys from again?
Brazil.
Oh, Brazil. Okay, okay.
Brazil. Yeah. And then we did a little game. While I was working on Chroma Squad, we were doing a game jam, me and Betsu, the artist in Chroma Squad as well. It's Relic Hunters. And we're just doing a game jam just to kind of let up some steam because it was so stressing and tiring the end of the development Chroma Squad. And I was just making this game for fun. And we couldn't stop working on it. Like we did it on the game jam, and then we're working on the weekend afterwards, and then the weekend afterwards, and the weekend afterwards, just because it was fun. And afterwards, we just have this game. It was just too small to charge money for, but too big not to release it, like, and try to put in front of people.
Yeah.
And then we just released it like free open source, like 100% free on Steam. That was back in 2015. And I was so in love with the game back then. It was called Relic Hunters 0. And I said to Beto, hey, if this does like 100,000 downloads, maybe this is something we could work on it afterwards, after Chroma Squad. And it did like 200,000 in the first
Wow.
few weeks.
Wow.
And now it's almost 2 million players.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
And that was a free game.
As a free game. And then we say, okay, we should do something this. And like, it was very positive reviews. It was like 95% positive reviews, something like that. And but every time people like would criticize something, they wanted online multiplayer. So we ended up, okay, we have to do like a sequel, and it has to be online multiplayer. So yeah, this is pretty much it.
Cool.
Awesome.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to invite, I already did actually, my friends over from Brazil, my fellow developers to join us.
Awesome.
Nice.
So guys, if you're hearing this, considering the delay, the password is Twitch if you want to join me. Probably gonna be Pinky, because she's the best one. So there we go. Oh. I'm gonna remove my watch actually, because it's hard. So yeah, there we go. So Gus is already here. Hi Gus.
Oh, that's awesome.
So like I said, it's kind of an indie Destiny. It's gonna have all the freaking features, like it's online game. You can chat. We have like a city hub called the Secret Market. You go on missions. There's a story mode. There are dungeons. You have an inventory. There's already a lot of stuff in here because we have 4 characters unlocked right now. So there's a starting gear for each one of those. Like you kind of share the inventory. We are going to have like a stash space where you can send stuff. But is anyone else coming, Gus? We should go.
How many characters will be unlockable?
So for launch, about 6 or 7. But we plan to just do a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
The way that the progression and kind of the overall feel of the game as a whole, like the meta game, it's kind of like Warframe. I don't know if you guys play that. But it's like you collect a lot of different things. You're not just leveling up a single character. You want to have all the characters. You want to have all the relics. You want to have all the gear, all the builds. So it's not just let's get a single, like my main character, something like that, and let's put that character level 100, whatever.
Right.
You want to do for all these different characters.
So I'm not super familiar with Warframe. So does each character have a very distinct play style
Yes,
that you'll
yes.
have to accommodate and kind of get used to?
Yes. So for example, I'm playing Pinky. Let me just get rid of these guns here. So she's a tank, but she's a very aggressive tank. Like she excels when she is right up in the face of the enemies. So she has this little jump. She can put a barrier. And she can shoot through, and the teammates can also shoot through the barrier.
Nice.
Gus is playing Raph. She's a healer. So Pinky also has like this charge attack. She can charge like a dash, and this punch. And there's a lot of nuance to the skills. For example, the punch recovers armor when you punch enemies like this, so I can stay on the front lines longer. While I'm charging, I'm basically invulnerable, so I can use this to tank. And then I absorb the damage. Like, oh, I'm on the cooldown. Let me just show. I can kind of absorb the damage from the shots. More people are joining us. We have a full party now.
Nice.
Is that your team?
Yeah,
Or-
that's my team. So Roni, Gus, say hi. Say hi
Hey.
to Twitch. We have like 1,000 people watching you. Be polite. So they're all playing different characters. So see Ace here, he's kind of a rogue. He has like crowd control abilities. He's very mobile. He can jump around and fly around with his jetpack. And the red hair guy, there's Jimmy. He's like a damage dealer, DPS kind of guy. And yeah, so we're playing, like they're all kind of high level characters. I'm level 1, so they're it's kind of easier for them. Oh, loot. Oh, this is bad. So this is a level 1 mission, so it's very easy for them. we can do a harder one after this. But yeah, they're pretty much gonna carry us. So this kind of play that we're having right now is called a mission. It's like a up to 4-player co-op. And we have different game modes. This is called skirmish, which is you just have to defeat enemies. I'll level up there. You have to defeat enemies and until you fill up this bar on the right side of the screen there. And then a portal opens up, you go to the next one. It's kind of like Diablo 3 Rips. And in the end, there's like a champion, like a boss. And we have another one called Scavenge, where capture points, we might show that if we have the time. And we're working on other modes like payload, defense, one called Destruction. So this is a part of what you can do in Relic Hunters, these like multiplayer focused, replayable missions. The levels are not generated randomly, but the position of the enemies and everything else is. So they kind of stay fresh when you replay them. They're made to be replayed. But we also have like a story mode, it's called Adventure. And it's about these Relic Hunters, they're like rebels. They are fighting against evil villain who has stolen the past. So this guy stole the past and he tells the story now. He says he created everything, like he is responsible for everything good in the galaxy, right? So everybody worships this guy. So the Relic Hunters, they're trying to chase the relics, and each one of these relics recovers a piece of the past that was stolen. They kind of figure out the real past, the real story of how the galaxy got here. Because it's kind of a dystopian future, right? This guy's kind of a jackass.
It's interesting. Can you describe the work, like the universe, and like some of the environments that you'll, explore?
Yeah, sure. So this place is kind of a basic starting place called Galena Desert. You can see in the distance like the Dukan encampments and checkpoints. It's like a very, the Dukans, they're kind of a military presence. So they're excavating here in the desert, trying to find relics and just claim them. Like the Relic Hunters, they're outlaws by nature because you're not supposed to be messing with relics and things. They're all like forbidden, right? Because you mess with the past. So when you get here, they just shoot at you. And but there are going to be other more interesting locales. We have we call the Junk Sea, which is like around the capital. There's so much junk and trash.
Oh, no.
There's like a sea, and there are surfers there, and like you befriend them, and you will meet different factions. Like in the desert, there are some guys who fish in the desert, like they just throw like rope. Fishing poles on like holes and try to catch like desert worms and stuff like that. They're called the fisher people. And you can meet like the junk surfers on the other area and things like that. And all of this is next to the social hub, which is called the Secret Market. So this social hub is like a shanty town kind of place, but it's hidden from the Dukans. And it's where all the rebels and Relic Hunters, they kind of gather and plan their activities against the Dukan Empire. It's kind of like a Star Wars vibe, a lot of it.
Yeah.
What platforms are you going to be releasing on?
Hopefully all of them. Like, yeah, we're right now we are on PC, right? Windows, Mac, and Linux. And well, that got wobbly there. PC, Mac, and Linux. And we plan to be on mobile crossplay.
Nice.
It's performing a little bad. Oh, I got some good loot there. Let me check. So we still have a lot of optimizations to go. So no, this is actually pretty bad. Did I get anything good? Oh, I did, but it's not for my character. So I got a +3 shirt, but Pinky cannot wear this. She can only wear heavy clothes.
Can you drop it and trade?
Yeah. Not right now, but you will be. You can trade with everybody. Trade is going to be a big part of the game. I got an SMG here. Cool. So we can go to the next part. Go. And I forgot what I was talking about.
The platform.
Oh, there you go.
Talking about
So
crossplay.
yeah.
You're still testing it out.
So it works in crossplay, but it's not performing really well mobile. But it's something that is really good because it's going to affect the PC version sometime. Like, it's going to be easier to run the PC version because it's going to be super optimized.
Yeah.
And we definitely want to be on the consoles. We're talking with all the first parties to figure out like when and how we can do it. Hopefully we can do crossplay over everything. That's the dream.
Oh, yeah.
But we're definitely going to start on PC because it's just so much faster and so much easier for us as indies. And when the game's like stable and working really well on PC, then we can bring it slowly over other platforms. Like I said, we're doing like a super ambitious game, but we kind of know what we're getting ourselves into. So we're taking things slowly. We're doing things like we've been working with this game with the community since day one. Like
Wow.
this game was kickstarted by the end of 2017. So we're working almost 2 years on it. And just doing like foundation stuff, technology stuff, just tools, making sure that we're approaching this game in the same way. You know?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. But I like to think that we're doing things right, you know. And by being like open developments from day one, it's also we're with our players on Discord like every single day. So and they always
That's
play.
awesome. That's super cool.
We do a new build every 2 weeks, even if it's broken, we just do it. And we're always talking to them, like getting this immediate feedback. We started to do this around the time. Of Chroma Squad, actually. Like before Chroma Squad, I had never had the experience as a developer of having this like open, constant feedback from
Right.
people. And in Chroma Squad, it was so much better for it. And I was like, I never wanted to go back. And Relic Hunters 0 was also like an open source game. So people actually fixed the bugs. Like they would open the code because the code was in GitHub. And you could download the code and you could like fix the bugs.
So they actually fixed them.
They
That's
actually
awesome.
fixed some bugs.
What engine are you using? Or is it your own proprietary?
Now it's Unity, yeah.
Okay.
Because this game is not going to be open source, sadly, because it just became too much of a hassle. Like, how can we do this online and be open source? Like, the security issues were just
Right.
too big, right? And so Relic Hunters 0 is still open source and will always be. We still support it. We're still patching it. And as long as some people are willing to patch Relic Hunters 0, it will be updated forever. It's an open source game. And being from Brazil also, like sometimes you hear from people who were getting into game development or being encouraged because of Relic Hunters 0, because they could just download and see, like, I'm not a trained programmer. I'm really bad at it. I have actual programmers like these guys. These three guys were playing with
I feel
me.
you on that, yeah.
Yeah, they can do actual code, not me. So people say, if this guy can code, anybody can, right?
They
My
get to
code
see
is,
that.
they get to see the mess.
Yeah, you can see the sausage, man.
Yes, and it's an ugly
That's awesome.
sausage.
It's an ugly sausage.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty. So
All smashed up.
yeah, right now we're playing a game mode called Scavenge. So he got it. So reviving, you don't have to press a button. You just have to kind of capture the area where the player's down.
Oh, that's great.
I feel like it's so boring to just stand around and hold X or something like that. So we did this little capture area. You just have to stand there. But if there are enemies, you can't. So the crowd control, stuff like that is important.
What inspired the aesthetic?
That's more of a question to Betu, my partner, who did the art. But I know he's inspired by a lot of stuff, especially like cartoons, stuff like that, and anime.
Yeah.
Some people describe the style to us as Brazilian anime, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
Because we do have a lot of Japanese influence in our culture in Brazil. We have, I think, the biggest Japanese population outside of Japan is in Brazil.
Yeah.
And our childhood, we were growing up watching Super Sentai, for example, Squad, and watching a lot of Japanese cartoons and anime. And it hugely influenced us, but in a way that for something that I was always talking about with people back when we were talking about Chroma Squad, is that for Brazilian TV, back when we were kids, my generation, I'm 30 years old, my generation, when we were growing up, there was no difference. Like you sit down and there were morning cartoons, you would watch like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and after that you would watch like Changeman, and after that you watch Dragon Ball Z, and then like He-Man or something like that. One after the other, right? So for us, there was no difference. It wasn't like this is Japanese. They were all
Yeah.
cartoons, right?
Makes sense,
We it didn't make any difference to us. So I feel like this got kind of ingrained in our culture somehow, like this mishmash of stuff.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I think Betu's art style is kind of like this.
That's cool. Yeah, it reminds me of like, some cartoons on Cartoon Network. They're very familiar, but it does have that anime feel. It's very vibrant. I just love like the colors that you're using and the saturation. It's the fluidity of it. It's cool.
Oh, thanks, man.
It really stands out.
Thanks. Beto really has a lot of character in how he does his art. And we did some crazy tech stuff to make it work. Like, especially the character is so weird the way that we did it. Like, people sometimes, game developers, they come to me at events and stuff like that and say, what is this? Like, is this 2D? Is this 3D? And I say it's both, actually.
Oh, it is?
It is.
That's neat.
It's kind of crazy. Like, if you look at Pinky here, she is actually like, her body and her head, it's 2D. It's animated on the spine.
Oh, okay.
So that's what gives this flow.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it looks like 3D a little bit. But then we have the gun. The gun is 3D, you see. It's completely
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
So the arms are also 3D, and they are in like nerd incoming. They are in procedurally generated inverted kinematic arm.
I understand that.
So and we have like cloth, like the hair on Raph and the scarf and the tail. These are all like dynamic physics 3D objects, and everything is kind of blended together with a crazy shader. It kind of like flattens out everything, so the 3D and the 2D kind of merge together.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It took us a long time in the beginning of the project to kind of figure out, but now it just looks natural, I guess. And it's
Yeah,
kind of like
it's
the.
really
It looks
good.
really good.
It's cool. I love that nerdy shit. I'm also a game developer, so we have to work with a lot of.
Yeah, man.
You know, we have like all these. Oh, it's not looking right. How do we get them to
Yes.
flip correctly? And I've kind of noticed.
Yes.
What?
There's also a limitation, like Beto, every time like we have to kind of censor him a little bit because he cannot make asymmetrical characters because of the way we flip.
Yeah.
So if he does a character with an eye patch, the eye patch is going to be flipping from eye to
Yeah.
eye. That would not happen in a 3D game. But, there's a lot of limitations. It's kind of the cost of doing crazy stuff. But
But you can then capture that 2D essence though when you have that if it
Yeah.
flips because people are like they have expectations.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on. And
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
when are you releasing again?
So we are already out in a certain way. This is pre-alpha, so this is super early. But if you support us in our Founders program on our website, you can actually play it right now and be part of our community. Like I said, we're there every day, and we do a new build every 2 weeks, so super cool. If you want to do that, I don't think it's worth the money right now. So if you just want to play a fun game, don't waste your money on us. The game's not ready.
Don't tell them that.
But it's true. It's not worth it right now. I feel like the people who are spending money on this right now to become our founders is because they want to support us because we're a small team trying to do a big thing.
Yeah.
And they want to be a part of it, part of the whole process.
What is a founders program?
So you pay $20 or $40 or $60 to support us. You get a bunch of cool rewards, but most importantly, I died there.
Oh no.
This is hard. It's harder than it looks to like talk to you and play this. You can play the game as it is right now, and
Nice.
we have an exclusive Discord channel. We can just chat with us one-on-one anytime, just participate on things. And but we're going to be on Steam Early Access proper when we think we're ready. I feel like this is probably late this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
One more thing. So if you could say anything to a budding game developer who's just starting out, what would you say?
Don't make online games.
Well, how would they start then if they're not going to make an online one?
Make a single-player game or a local co-op game. Just don't make an online game. It's just crazy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us, for showing off Relic Hunters. We will be right back. We're going to be taking a quick break, showing off another trailer, and jumping into our third indie game of the day. So take a break, and we'll be back.
Every team.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mix Live. We are here at the Twitch studio showing off 7 indie games, and today I'm especially excited for this particular one because it's near and dear to my heart as community manager of Rose City Games. I have here Justin with me, my co-host. How are you doing, Justin?
Great.
Holding up throughout the stream?
Yeah, trying to make it happen.
And we have Will Lewis here from Rose City Games. How are you doing, Will?
Hello, doing well.
I like your shirt. I have
Thank
to
you.
compliment it.
Your beard is amazing.
It covers up the shirt though. You can't do both.
You gotta like wait to the side
Yeah.
for a second. Look at that.
One Punch Man reference. Yeah.
It's a good one. So you're going to be showing off the world next door today. So tell us a little bit, like set the scene. What is the world next door?
So the world next door features a lot of puzzle battles with a lot of intermixed narrative. You kind of make a lot of decisions similar to something that you would do in like Mass Effect, where you are in this monster world making friends with different characters, and you are kind of similar to like Goonies and Stranger Things. You are kind of a bunch of teens who big time mess up, and you have to figure out how to fix it before anybody really finds out.
Nice. So let's jump in and see what that looks like.
I would like to delete my save, yeah.
Start fresh.
So there's a lot of inspiration behind this with regard to kind of anime references. You know, the art style isn't technically anime, but we are partnering with Viz Media to make this game, and we wanted to make sure that this was something that really resonated with those kinds of audiences.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of stark contrasts between kind of types of characters and the kind of Zelda-esque voice acting to kind of make sure that everything comes off in a really excited and
Right.
personality-driven way. And this is the prelude talking about how, in the backstory, which you also learn about this in the free comic that we have on Viz's website, how there is a festival every 20 years where a portal opens and links the world of Earth to the world of Emrys. And so in this story, you are playing as a human girl, June, who has kind of won the lottery to cross over for one day in Emrys. And towards the end of the demo, you see that she gets trapped there and the portal has closed. So the game is about finding out how to get back to Earth because humans can't survive long on Emrys.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
But there's kind of an Emran Earth internet that connects the two worlds. So she has friends in the world that she is able to work with to try to get back home.
That's good. It's always good to have a friends to help you out in those
Yes.
kind of situations.
That's right.
Well, and there's a pretty wide cast of characters in this game, and we're going to
Yes.
meet a few of them here, but maybe could you talk a little bit more to the different characters that we could experience?
Yeah, so here we're actually going to get a text from Liza, who is June's friend from Emrys, who she's been talking to via the Emran Earth internet. And she's going to meet her because Liza has a surprise for her. And there's kind of a little cast of characters you meet through this day and through coming days. It's really funny because a lot of the characters come up over time, and there's a lot of new NPCs that are revealed at this school in Archaeo, which is the kind of town that you're in.
So a lot of communication happens through your cell phone, or like you
Yeah.
get missions and like different things.
Yeah, there's actually ways in which you can influence your relationships to characters every day by texting them before you come out of the dorms and everything like that. But there's also, you'll see right here, there's a couple of choices that you can make to kind of influence what characters think about you, and it can influence the story. And see here, we might offend Liza if we say that Emrys is lame. But I'm going to say it's amazing.
We're going to be nice today.
Yes, but there's also, when we get to the puzzle battles, you can see there's different characters that we can kind of equip with us and make sure that we're able to use spells that kind of are conducive to our play style.
Definitely has like a East meets West art style. to it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of really talented artists on the team. The character portrait artist is Lord Grizz. I'm going to just say let's go. Let's get to the action. Lord Grizz, who has a pretty big following on Instagram, and she does a lot of really interesting monster and kind of, like I said, anime-esque designs. And it's been really cool working with her. And then here you'll see a combined effort of a lot of different artists that we work with in Portland and in a couple of other places. We're based out of Portland, Rose City Games, and we have a really, really cool indie community there called the Portland Indie Game Squad. And we're able to work with a lot of people. Here, I'll be mean to Rainey.
Oh, poor Rainy.
But we work with a lot of really cool people and are able to, work with our friends a lot of the time, and it's really great.
How many people are on the team?
It's, with contractors and kind of full-time team members and everything like that, it like truly bounces between 12 people on the team at a time to 20 people on the team at a time, especially if we're talking about if we're in the middle of making promotional materials or making the comic or any of those kinds of things. I'm going to continue being mean to Rainey wherever I can.
No.
Just for fun. I like Rainey, but he's actually going to be a featured piece in the soundtrack, which all you listeners at home, I trust you really like the soundtrack. I'm a huge fan of it. We're going to be releasing that a couple days before launch, and you'll be able to listen to it. So here we've just had a conversation with Rainey and Liza about this surprise, and it's about going to a shrine where the teens all hang out. So we're going to go to the Water Shrine, or the Channel Shrine, and this is Horace. He's actually not a bad guy, but he's pretty rude, and he is another one of the crew.
Who's badass?
He is badass. He's my favorite
love
character.
The jacket.
He looks like, that jacket.
Yeah.
Is that a mask or is that his
That
actual
is
head?
his head, yes.
I love it. That's sick.
His voice actor is very, very funny, too. Yeah, we're all mean to Rainey here.
Are there different types of races or
Yeah, there's there's kind of demon race, and Rainey is a drake.
Okay.
Technically, Horace is, he's not dead and brought back to life, but by our standards, he would be classified as undead or something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of different types of characters here. So here we're talking about how the shrines are forbidden, which I kind of hinted at earlier. And the teens like to go down here because their magic is amplified down here. In Emrys, there's actually a magical core to the earth instead of, or I should say, the world, instead of a molten core, and that's where they get energy, similar to the sun or anything like that. But you learn that going to these shrines, there's a strange connection between the kind of magical presence here and just kind of how that works on Emrys. There's a couple of historical contexts behind why the shrines were built and everything like that. Like I said, there's a lot of investment here in the IP and the world building to make a really cool kind of experience that we haven't, a story we haven't told before. And very shortly you'll also see the combat, which was also something very inspired by a lot of well-known puzzle games. Tetris Attack was kind of one of our main inspirations, but took on a life of its own, and it's very interesting. When we were at the Mix last night, we were talking with a lot of people who said, yeah, I've never seen anything like this before. And it's a lot more of a live-action element where you're battling an enemy on the board while worrying about making your matches in a tile-based puzzle game.
That's cool.
I'm going to teach you how to throw a big goddamn fireball. That does not sound boring. I'm going to appease Horace.
I like the chatter.
Yeah, it's
super cool.
the Emran language that's there.
It's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments where
Like that.
yeah, where the dialogue kind of really
I'm
melts
just
well.
gonna start yelling at
Yeah. let's bring it here. Make it happen.
They're like, what is this? What's wrong with this dude?
All right, I'm gonna roll with Horace on this one.
Nice.
There's gonna be a lot of cosplay. This game is
That's what I would love that. Not gonna lie, I bought a Horace-esque jacket recently. So
Oh, really?
we'll see what happens. Yeah. have to shed the opie hoodie to make that happen.
It's like a bubble goose with down.
Yeah, like extra down.
So here you'll see we're going to be looking for side-by-side matches of 3 of different types of runes. We can match them by tethering to them and then moving to where we want to move them, and then cast the spell.
Is that the big ass fireball?
That's the big ass fireball. We can make bigger asser fireballs as well.
I want to see the ass.
Yes.
Acer.
Yeah.
The assier, the better.
I'm not sure if I want to see the assier fireball. But the spells all do different things. Fireball kind of shoots in a straight line. Strike does not miss. And electricity is my favorite. The shock rune lays a path of electricity and stuns everybody. And we'll see this soon, but we'll need to dash to avoid enemies. And then we might need to put these skills to use pretty soon, because something is about to happen.
Yeah, I love the fusion, like the sort of visual novel elements mixed with sort of this action, chibi gameplay. The visuals are really, really cute.
Yeah, there's also speaking to the characters. Like I said, there's ways in which you can recruit them and use special abilities. So Horus throws the biggest goddamnest fireball. Oh, what do we have here? There are enemies in this game called grievances, which are emeralds that technically were taken over by magic by spending too much time casting spells or being down in the shrines. There's a lot of different kinds of grievances. A lot of people were asking me last night at the mix, what makes the combat different in lots of different scenarios. And we, of course, have our friends' abilities, but then we also have 5 different types of grievances. We have boss fights. We have enemy rush modes.
Oh, and there's the board.
Yeah. Here we go, it lit up. Yeah, it's fun. A lot of people were saying, it's like, oh my gosh, like, stuff is happening now.
You get relaxed with all the dialogue, you're in the story, and then the game just wham.
Yeah, I'm actually really happy with the pacing of the game. Of course, at the beginning, we want to set the tone for the world and everything like that, but there's a lot of battle combat going on, or battle content going on. Ooh, that was a good clock. I love clotheslining.
Yes.
But I am trapped on the other side of this fire, and like I said, the portal above ground is timed, so we need to figure out how to get back up fast. But of course, Horus is just having a good time.
Yeah, he's just happy to be fighting.
Are there other kinds of modes? Like, is there like a multiplayer mode, or like something where, like a puzzle mode,
Right.
or like these different types of things? Because
So,
it just
yeah.
seems like it would fit along
Totally.
with the story mode.
Yeah, one thing I'm really happy about. Oh, maybe I should heal up. Oh, I don't need to heal. I'm so good. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're actually. I'm really proud of how everything came together. This kind of modular design enabled us to say, like, yes, let's not only have lots of different room styles and enemies here, but there's a puzzle quest line that you can do that kind of takes advantage of this style of puzzle matching and kind of live gameplay and puts it together in a little bit more of a calm, relaxing, but maybe frustrating because it's a puzzle and they're hard type of gameplay. There's also enemy rush, and in the future we are going to have a update to the game that enables people to play multiplayer. So 2 people on the
awesome.
same board. We're also releasing day 1 on Switch and PC. And so that will work with the Joy-Cons and everything like that as well.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
So there's this mysterious door, and this is another kind of thing that enhances the gameplay, is having multiple enemies on the board at once can be really challenging. Of course, that was a very sweet and slick dodge I just did, if I might say so myself. But you can get cornered, and it's a really good idea to use different kinds of spells to your advantage. Ooh, there's the big
Wow.
goddamn fireball. Use different types of spells to kind of make sure that you're not staying trapped. You can, like I said, shock characters to stun them in place so that you can maybe set up a larger combo. There's also a feature called Empowering, where if you cast a spell right next to another spell, you can see these strike runes are glowing. That actually did a little bit more damage than a regular 3 match of strike would have done.
Awesome. So there's lots of little strategic things you can do to modify your gameplay.
Yeah. Another thing I'm really proud of is that I like a lot of games that tutorialize things over time rather than run you through a big tutorial. Of course, we just saw a tutorial there where it kind of teaches you the ropes, but over time there are kind of puzzle rooms and modes that say, hey, if you want to get past this challenge, you actually have to match this using empowering, or you actually have to use a friend's special ability to be able to pass by those. So that's been really cool. I like this moment.
What role do you play on the team?
So I'm a co-producer of the game. The lead producer is back in Portland right now, making sure it all gets out. Shout out to Corey.
Yay!
Because we actually launch next week on Thursday.
So soon.
Ooh, first day of PAX East.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to be at PAX East with the game in the Indie Mega booth, and we actually have the anime party tonight in GDC. And yeah, it comes out super soon. We're really excited. And the comic is already available. We're going to be putting out the soundtrack a little bit earlier and all that kind of thing. So here's a little.
What's this?
That's the boss that will come up in a little bit. But it sounds like we need to get out of here.
Yeah, because you still have to get to the portal.
That's right. Yeah, not the time, as Liza said. I'm freaking out.
He looks extra grimy.
Yeah, he does.
Pulling swords from his head.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me if there was any suggestive content in the game based on monsters and anime and everything, and I said, why don't you take a look at this boss? And then they knew that that was not the case. So we are racing back to the portal, but it's actually not
no.
open anymore.
Guitar set.
Guitar set.
Evo teen, Liza. Yeah, Horace does kind of have a soft side towards. In the end, he always has a soft side.
No carties.
So you mentioned, because I think this song is really pretty, you mentioned the soundtrack is coming out in a few days. Where are places people can find that soundtrack? Or maybe the comic that you were talking about earlier?
Right. If you go to Viz's website, there's, I think it's going on right now, there's but maybe just very soon, there's a website takeover happening where you're able to very easily click through and find all of the content that we have. And at Rose City Games on Twitter, we'll be following up with all that. And I believe it's Rose City Games PDX on Instagram. We've been posting a lot. If you want to see me do very, very goofy stuff, we've been posting some informational videos about how to cast spells in Emrys or how to get away from enemies. And yeah, they're pretty fun.
That's awesome.
I get my beard set on fire in one of them. No.
Wait,
The beard
seriously?
is its own
I mean,
star.
not in real life.
I was like, hey, I gotta see this.
So there we are. That's kind of the cliffhanger. We've gotten to the portal and we don't know what to do yet.
Ashenda.
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 Evil team.
I just like what evil team. You want to shout out social media?
Yes, for just Rose City Games in general. We have Rose City Games on Twitter. That's our handle. And then, like I said, Rose City Games PDX is our Instagram. We're going to be posting a lot of stuff about the game. Our release is next week on Thursday. We're going to be on Switch and on PC simultaneously. So make sure to check it out. We're really proud of it. I like to think of it as an upscaled Super Nintendo style title, which is, you know,
That's
you can
cool.
see some of those influences. Like I
Yeah.
said, we were inspired a lot by Tetris Attack, and the combat gets really interesting. It's a very fun time.
I like the dungeon transitions? Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should see some of the new dungeons too.
Oh, really? Okay.
There's the Forge, there's the Undercroft, which is
Sick.
a little kind of undead, scary stuff, and
spooky.
yeah, that's very
Well,
fun.
thanks for showing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
on the
this
Mix
is
Live,
great.
and also on at the event itself last night.
Yeah,
It was cool.
that was a good one, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be right back with another indie game and another trailer. So stay around.
Arms to the sky, screaming, run, run, run. Head to the side with a nine, nine, nine. Hit that switch, make it hot, your homegrown rebel, spin 'em round, round, round. Late night trouble going down, down, down. Hit that switch, make it hot, they call me wild child, know what you heard about me. Dangerous wild child, I know you heard about me. They call me wild child, know what you heard about me. Dangerous wild child, I know you heard about me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mix Live. We're here at Twitch Studios showing off indie games that were featured at the Mix last night. If you didn't get a chance to check out that stream, I believe it's in the VODs. And I'm turning and looking over here at Justin, the co-host for today's stream. And we have with us today Eric and Dustin of Ramen.
Hey.
And we just saw the trailer
Yeah.
for Ramen, and I was commenting on the song because I really liked it. And you said your friend composed the
Yeah,
song?
it's a friend of ours. The band's called Beginners. You guys check them out. It's also with Night Panda. It's on Spotify if you guys want to.
Yeah,
Get
that
down with
trailer's
that.
wild.
Really cool song. Thank you. Yeah.
But so tell us what we just experienced, because I feel like there was a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
happening.
So Ramen is a soup-slinging, action-packed online, I guess, party-type game. Our main goal is for players to jump in with, a group of friends and just kind of laugh and be silly together and kind of troll each other and just, we just want people to have a good time and not take themselves or the game too seriously. And if we could achieve that, then we've done what we wanted.
That sounds
How'd
great.
you come up with the name? I mean, it's obvious. It's
Yeah.
just
So it's like there's an obvious pun there. Naked dudes, raw men, ramen, they're throwing soup. So we actually came up with the title "Eating Ramen at a Ramen Shop." We came up with the concept eating at the shop. We were eating
Came later.
Yeah, so we were just eating. We were all quiet, eating incredibly fast, and we just look at each other. And we're like, "Why are we doing this?" And we noticed it was the music that was playing. It was intense, fast music, and we're like, "Wow, it's the music doing this." One of us was like, "Let's make a game about this." So that sparked
cool.
it. That sparked it, and it evolved from there. The first game was single player, and it was not fun to make. It was not fun to play at all.
shit
It was fun to
sucked.
make. Yeah, it was so boring.
That shit
And
sucked.
we're like, what's fun about this? Making a mess. Like, we can knock things over and like spill things around, and we really enjoyed that aspect of it. And we're like, all right, that's fun. Let's push that further. Multiplayer. Let's try that out. Let's throw soup at each other. Wow, this is way better than the first concept. Like, this is our game.
Yeah.
So that's how the concept came about.
Where are you guys based out of?
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So was it a ramen shop?
It was a
yeah.
ramen shop in LA.
Sujita
Yeah,
Annex on Sawtell, if anyone's out
yeah,
there.
very awesome,
Okay.
awesome.
Oh,
ramen.
I love that place.
It's so good.
Every time I went to IndyCade,
Yeah.
I would go.
Dude, that's
I would
so
have to go
good.
to Annex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout them out in the credits of
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
Thanks for
info.
yeah.
It's a good way to get free ramen.
No,
I hope so.
I hope someone's watching.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
hilarious.
hope someone's watching. Really.
Sponsored by the ramen
I mean, we'll
shop.
take anything right
Yeah,
now.
Yes.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm trying to think what else we need.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the game. So I can see
Yeah,
here we've got the
sure.
title screen. They're cozy.
They're chilling.
Wait, can you
Ready?
turn the bulb?
Oh yeah.
You can turn the
Oh
ball.
yeah.
Yeah, you can turn
Oh,
the ball.
that's great.
Their legs are intertwined, but you can't tell.
I like how one of them is the egg.
Yeah,
It's just like he's just
He's just
chilling.
chilling.
Yeah. No, he's under there. He's just he's having a good time. Yeah.
So we'll go through the process here a little bit. Like we can make a character here.
Oh, look at that
Gangster
strut.
stroll.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we have a pretty
Wow.
in-depth character creation system. You
got
can
it.
customize your guy however you want.
It's like Takashi 8-9, dude. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make my little dude here because I got a specific look that I like to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with this. So you can choose a couple different aprons here to start. We're gonna have a lot more.
Yeah, so
Picture here.
like we're all about customization. We want to push this a lot further than you see here. We are in very early stages of alpha, so what you see is definitely not final. We plan to add a lot more content. Just not in just the customizer, but also gameplay aspects. Like this is just the start of what we want to do.
how long have you been in development?
About a year solid now. We've been, playing around with games and prototyping little things here and there for the past couple of years, but like just on this title, we went all in about a year ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
And this is our first title.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
really?
Yeah.
your
This is
first
our
title?
first title. Yeah.
Were you in the industry before? Were you guys?
We did movies and stuff like that. A lot of entertainment stuff for like
Yeah.
design.
So
stuff.
we were a design
Okay.
and kind of animation studio before, and we love doing that, and we love animation. That was our kind of bread and butter. But this is our passion. We love gaming, and we just kind of decided to take the plunge and go all in on a game, and this is where we are now.
There's a lot of style and personality.
Thank you.
And I like the music in the background too.
Yeah.
It's hard to see which tattoo I'm choosing, but I think let's do this one.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you look
Yeah,
good.
it's the
Yeah,
most
I gotta
make
important.
sure
This
he's
is the
ready.
most important part of
This
the
is the
game.
predator.
Really of any game.
Yeah.
We got the predator glove here, so we're good.
Okay. So we're gonna just start up a quick game. And hopefully have our friends from Discord jump in.
Oh, awesome.
Shout out to all our Discord guys. They seriously are the best community ever. They're so helpful, and we love them. We're constantly talking to them every day and getting feedback from them, and they've been so helpful.
That's awesome. So
Yeah, there they are. There they are.
So we're gonna pull
seeing
it.
them fall
We got
down
a full
from
we
the
got a full
sky.
8 going, so we're gonna do a broth battle here. So this is our yeah.
That is awesome.
There we go.
Wow.
We have another mode, but we plan on doing a lot of different things with this.
Yeah, so we want to have a lot of different modes in this game. Right now, we're gonna show off our broth battle, which is basically our free-for-all deathmatch mode. just spam that button.
I
Yeah.
think we're ready to jam here.
So let's just jump in and get going.
Let's hope no one's trying to join in right now at the same time that we're
No,
starting.
we're good. There it is. So right now, yeah. So this is just like your classic free-for-all mode. You sling soup at your opponents, and you collect different types of items. We love Mario Kart. We feel that that's like the perfect type of trolling game where people could like get amped up and get frustrated, but also have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we like the itemization in that. So we tried to kind of mimic that itemization and create items where ridiculous things will happen. So you'll see some of the stuff there, but we have like, for instance, like a hot potato. You can cook the potato like a grenade. You throw it, but there's a chance that it could explode in your face. Like the cook time is between like half a second to 20 seconds, so you never know if you're gonna blow yourself up or not. So yeah, so now we're just kind of running around, and we can slide around. You can slide on your soup. You can collect soup. There's lots of different explosive weapons. We have matzo balls that
and you
heat
get-
sink.
You get sucked up.
Yeah.
Nice.
When you die, you get sucked up into the little tube. We're not going to get into too much detail what happens there, but
I'm farting.
yeah. So now Dustin picked up the cheese, which is a special item. Lets you fart and launch into the air, and kind of get away and around the environment.
Slide on it too.
Oh, dude, this
Yeah,
is-
so
this is like-
so sliding is like a big part of our game.
Okay.
We want to push this even further, but we enjoy mobility and we enjoy dynamic movement. and we want to, have people just having fun with the environment as well as trying to eliminate their friends and take them out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This is great. So this is sort of this like city map that you have here.
Yes.
What are the other different environments that players will be able to?
It's kind of like right now, like we're hoping to have something kind of like a weird fictional like locations or
Like world, yeah. Like kind of referencing real world places. So this is kind of our take, a little like Brazil influenced, slightly. But we're gonna try to do that with multiple like other locations. This is our main one that we're testing right now. We have plans to create many more, but this is the main one that we have in the
So
game.
like the favelas.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
And you can see Saint Thierry Pose up there.
Yeah, doing the classic T pose.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now I got the fish here.
I like that, the whole sliding stuff. It's like jet set radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like, a lot of people say that, and that's kind of like one of our
Got
influences.
an AFK right here.
Just take him out.
No.
Punish him.
can't
Yeah, just
sleep on the
punish
job.
him, man. What's he doing?
Yeah, slapped up.
All right.
So what are some of the what are your favorite items that you
For me,
put in?
Oh man. Okay.
Eric, why don't you tell him what your favorite item?
Well, okay, so my favorite item it's the matzo ball, and it's funny because it's one of the most powerful items. So we put it in hard to reach location on that crane right there. And it's really funny when Dustin and I like test this every day and play. I always go for it, and he always knows I go for it.
Yeah.
And he just waits and like hits me as soon as I hit the tip of the crane every single time, and I know it's coming.
Someone just got it.
Yeah, someone just got it, and they're probably gonna chug it. But he always gets me every time, and I just know it's coming. But like it's programmed in me. Like I have tunnel vision to go for this because it's so powerful.
I kind of like the dim sum a little bit.
Yeah. So the dim sum is another cool item. It's those discs that those guys are throwing down there. There it goes.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh no, sorry. Those are the Narutos. The dim sum is like a little grenade that you can throw. It's a little remote grenade that explodes.
He got fumbled.
Yeah.
Oh, and so you're out of soup, so you gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta
refill.
refill. You gotta refill. Yeah.
In the little pools or like
So the
how do you-
pools are dangerous. The big pool's dangerous. You pick up soup cans to replenish soup, and then you can also, every time you eliminate someone, it replenishes a little bit of soup as well.
That sound. Say, do you guys get hungry just playing this game?
I'm hungry right now.
It's the eating ramen concept.
Yeah.
Like,
we haven't had ramen since we came up with the idea.
Yeah. Sadly enough, yeah, we have
Really?
that. Yeah.
It just kept us up all night. It was like that sodium sweat.
Yeah.
We just couldn't get to sleep, and it was like, fuck, man, I can't even. I don't know when the next time I could do this.
Yeah.
But
Big
like I
is your
said,
team.
just us.
You're looking at them.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we are a very small team. Not by choice, really. It's kind of a funding thing. We don't have any funding. We would love to get funded, but we're thinking of doing a Kickstarter pretty soon. So if anyone likes, if you guys like what you see, please support us. Look out for that. But we're also looking possibly to publishers if that's an option.
Right.
Whatever
Here's the
works.
matzo ball.
Yeah.
We should talk later.
Here's ye old matzo
Yeah,
ball.
this is my favorite item
this is-
in the
All right,
game.
yeah, let's see it in action.
So it heat sinks.
Oh, someone already died though.
Oh, I saw. Yeah.
Kill it and
We
you
gotta
talk.
get it again.
Yeah, there's one right here. If I don't get destroyed.
Yeah. See, hard to reach
Yeah,
spot,
it's hard.
man.
It's a hard.
Yeah.
Especially when there's pressure on, it's like a harder thing. I want to get the backpack too. The backpack's super.
Oh yeah, so the backpack's an interesting item. We want to kind of push weird gameplay, and the backpack lets you mount anyone in the game, and you kind of you're forced to work as a team instead of working solo. So now you share kills. So the guy on the bottom kind of drives where you go, and the guy on top throws soup.
I might spawn one if we can.
Yeah.
We
No,
do
just go natural.
Yeah, we wanna. Yeah, like Eric was saying, push that weird.
There it is.
There we
There
go.
we go. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're hoping to have something we're talking about maybe going inside somehow. Like you enter into the mouth.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That reminds me of like the Simpsons arcade game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember when like you'd have Bart jump on your shoulder or whatever?
Yeah, totally. So yeah, The Simpsons and like Futurama are kind of like inspirations for us.
Characters have some Simpsons
yeah.
flair to them.
Yeah.
Oh, he's stunned.
There you go. So we just. So yeah, we like to. So you can get pretty good at this game. You can pick it up pretty quickly, or even if you don't know what you're doing, it takes like a couple games to understand items. But like if you're really good, item synergy is pretty important because Dustin just threw the fish, which stuns someone. And then you could charge up a shot and knock them out really well. But if you don't know the items, you know, you're not going to know to do that. So we want to make this game pretty accessible if you're not like a hardcore gamer and you don't exactly know all the mechanics of like typical first-person or third-person shooters. Like you could just pick it up fairly quickly and kind of learn this stuff as you go along. And it, you know, you can still kill people and have fun without knowing everything. That's kind of our goal, just for a quick, fun party game that you can play with friends.
Kind of technical question, but how are you guys doing your matchmaking? Are you in Unity?
Yeah, we are in Unity. Yeah. So we right now we don't have actual matchmaking. It's more of like kind of jump in with friends, like a lobby with friends.
So you have like a server.
That's
set
probably
up.
down the line.
Yeah. So we might do matchmaking down the line. We have plans to like fully flesh out the networking a bit more and have more options. But right now it's just like jump in with friends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you got to mount up like.
So yeah, we're on Steam right now.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
is this early access?
It's not released on Steam, but you could go and wishlist it, and we will be on early access sometime in the future.
So you get unlimited soup here. Because you get double labels. So you're taking it.
Yeah. So
Nice.
so good, good positives to being mounted or mounting someone is unlimited soup, and then you can't really get hurt too much.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he killed himself.
Yeah.
People are like ninja starring around.
Yeah.
The cool thing is like there's not really a negative to dying in this game, like or being like eliminated. It's just, like you're just kind of like, all right, just get back into it.
And like that's like fun. We want to push people to explore and try things and not feel bad about being eliminated.
A big thing when Eric and I started this was like, let's see if we can make a game without guns.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing because it's just like we see it so much. It's like let's just make something where we're throwing hot soup at each other and it's not that big of a deal in comparison to a gun. You still have to end up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Let's not no one do that.
Yeah.
Watching.
What other modes do you have? Or
Right now
planned?
it's just this one.
We have just deathmatch mode. We have team broth battle, which is our like team deathmatch. And we have a lot of plans. It's just based on funding. I guess I don't want to get into too much specifics because it might not pan out. But we had ideas of doing more sports type things. Like Rocket League's a great game.
Yeah.
And we feel like we could kind of do something like that in this world. I think it would be like a lot of fun throwing a big matzo ball around and trying to score that way.
Yeah.
Or doing more, kind of capture the flag or team-based cooperation type games. I think that's this kind of mechanic or this kind of world could really lend itself to that.
Yeah, the backpack stuff's kind of fun once you get that.
Yeah.
Like it's nice having someone control one thing and you're doing the other thing. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So we want to push that. We want to push that kind of weird.
As long as it's weird and strange.
Yeah.
And fun. Because that's really what we do. We just follow the fun. Like that's how we ended up here. Is we.
Yeah.
Like the skating's kind of cool and it's like kind of like.
Like what's fun? What makes us laugh? All right, that works. Let's do this more.
Yeah. Well, and it's great that you have a team of people who've already been in and helping you test.
Yeah. They're fantastic. Yeah.
Play testing it already.
Oh, I got cock
Oh
sauce.
wow.
Yeah.
What happened?
They threw the cock sauce. I mean, it's like sriracha sauce or like.
It's like a sriracha sauce thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Find any reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the thing is, like Eric and I were saying, like it's awesome because like we can make people say whatever we want.
Yeah, exactly. We can
Like
create a vocabulary and make people say.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I got the cock sauce.
Yeah.
Homie. Homie, I got the cock sauce.
Like the description,
watch out.
the description for the backpack says like mount it on mount your friend like a bro. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
just like a bro.
Yeah.
And people were like a bro. They start saying it more like, yeah, just mount me like a bro.
Mount me like a bro.
Like a bro,
Sling
man.
that cock sauce.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dimitri.
Yeah, exactly.
So, when are you released? I mean, when's your anticipated release?
I can't even say.
It'll be tight, like, this year, like later this year.
Yeah, I mean, if not early access end of year, but we don't really know. Honestly.
Yeah.
Can't make any promises.
What platforms? Just PC right
PC
now?
Right now,
start,
PC.
but Switch would be great.
Yeah, we would love to be on the Switch. And then any other consoles like we're open to is if there's interest, we do it.
Yeah.
We should talk. I'm serious.
Yeah,
We
no,
should
for
talk.
sure. Yeah.
Well, and then so if people want to stay, in the know because you've hopefully have some announcements eventually
Yeah.
coming up about this, where can they find you online?
So ramengame.com.
Yeah, ramengame.com.
And then animal_labs on Twitter.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I think that's the main.
And you can wishlist the game on Steam right now. That's another good way to do it.
And feel free to jump in our Discord. You're in direct contact with us. We talk to you guys every day.
Yeah, that's a hard link to give out.
Oh.
Like discord.gg.
Yeah.
So just hit us up on
You can
Twitter.
find it on our website. Yeah. Yeah.
When people go into the Discord, are they able to potentially help you with some of this
definitely.
testing?
Like that's
So
how we
they can-
interact. Yeah.
Great.
There's definitely. I mean, we're not going to give you a key right off the bat, but we'll definitely.
I mean,
there's a little bit of a vet- there's a bit of a
we're
vetting
slowly
process.
adding more and more testers in. So
cool.
please feel free to hop in and we'll talk to you guys. And
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us.
No, of
Thank
course,
you guys
thanks
so
for-
much for having us on. We really
Thanks for letting us
appreciate
put
it.
this vulgar shit on your on the mic.
That's all what we're all about. You know?
No, that's what I mean.
Vulgar stuff.
Yeah.
The vulgar stuff. That's it.
Cool. Well, thank you, Eric and Dustin.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're going to be heading to a quick break where we're showing off another trailer and showing off yet another indie game, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream. We are here at Twitch HQ with the Mix Live, featuring 7 of the indie games that were showing last night at the Mix event. So I have here Justin with me, and
No, that's not my name.
oh my gosh,
My name's Big J.
Big J. What's up, Big J? How's your afternoon?
It's amazing.
And we have the developers of Lost Souls here. We have Cyrul and Arno. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty tired.
Bit
but,
tired.
Yeah, you showed your game at the Mix last night.
Yes.
Did you have a busy morning?
Yeah, pretty busy. Still
Yeah.
setting up the booth. And
Yeah.
we came from Paris on Sunday, so we're still a bit jet lagged.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
but here we are, so yeah.
Well, thank you for enduring all of the time difference and
Sure.
everything to,
Yeah.
to be with here.
No problem.
Thank
here
you for
with us.
inviting
Thank you
us.
for having us.
So, Lost Souls, this trailer, like the animation looks amazing. It's so eye-catching. It's, I want it to be just a movie that I can watch, but it's even better because it's a game that we can play.
Exactly.
Could you tell us a little bit about what we can expect from this game?
So basically, it's a beat 'em up game, but that has also RPG mechanics. And very elaborate storyline. The story of brother and sister, twin brother and sister that lost their father, who's a scientist that discovered a portal to the goblins' world, and they kind of discover that and try to kind of understand why their father disappeared and why the goblins want to make war against the humans. And so yeah, it makes a lot of different mechanics. Can I join, or maybe we can?
Is it complicated?
No, it's
I
not.
want to try. It's so random. I was
You
like,
can play.
You can jump in any
You
time.
have to reboot it actually.
No, you can jump in anytime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. We're
I don't know.
tired.
Yeah. There you go.
all right. So I'm gonna try.
So I can talk. It's perfect.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
So yeah, basically it mixes different mechanics. The core gameplay is a beat 'em up, so it's best to play in co-op, but you can also play single player by switching between Tristan and Jen, the two main characters. Basically, it's very simple. You have different dungeons that you can choose from. So there's like the storyline dungeons that makes you progress into the story, but also so it's going to be also a lot of different dungeons where you can make more experience, where you can unlock new objects, new gear. And there's going to be also some challenges with dungeons. So a lot of choice to make every time you want to do a game. And then you equip your gear like they just did, and then you go into the dungeon and you can't change your gear. So choosing your gear before entering a dungeon is very important because from a tactical aspect, it's going to make a change during your game in the dungeon according to the types of enemy you're going to encounter. So yeah, here we go.
So we've got two, and it's the goblins are on the other side of that portal, and they're the ones trying to.
Exactly. They're actually
the
like
world.
kind of in the underworld, like under our own world,
Okay.
like upside down. And so yeah, so basically the games goes there's like a day and night cycle. During the day you can hang out in the town where the two twins live, where it's a very quiet town, very nice town, where you can go around in boutiques and buy some new gear, talk with NPC, discover a bit more about the lore, and also you can at night go into the underworld, into the goblins' world, to fight goblins and also try to understand what happened to your father.
So his death was not an accident, potentially.
We don't know.
We don't know. Oh my goodness. So there's a mystery to solve
Exactly.
here.
Exactly.
So what I saw in the trailer was really cool. There's like a flip that's happening.
Yes.
So could you explain some of that?
So that's basically the underworld, the goblins' world, is kind of like not really a mirror of the human world, but kind of. And those two worlds, they live completely separately, but they're actually neighbors, you know. So at night you fight the goblins. During the day you train and get your gear into the small town and talk to the different human characters. And at night you talk to different goblins characters. And you're kind of like in between those two worlds. And nobody really know about this in the human world, but you're actually fighting for humanity and for the goblins as well, kind of, to find peace between the two worlds.
Wow. Oh, gotta.
So yeah, all the
Gotta keep
dungeons,
up.
you have a lot of variety within dungeons. You have different enemy types. You have different world types. You have ice world, ghost worlds. You have different phases. So there's huge variety in the gameplay. It's best to play with two players. Basically, you can see, for example, right now, Jen has the bombs that she's just thrown, which are pretty useful, while Tristan has the grappling hook, that it can use.
Oh, I
You
got
got
smashed.
wrecked.
So
Try
maybe that's
harder.
because we didn't have the right equipment.
I should equip
Yeah,
something else
exactly.
instead of the
So
grappling
yeah,
hook.
we can
Exactly.
just go here and
Okay.
choose our equipment. So we have.
So don't forget to put your helmet, because I see that you didn't equip your helmet.
So
And-
where's it? This is the grappling hook, right?
Yes.
So then I should change this to a bomb.
Whatever, it works. But don't forget to put on your helmet because it can be quite useful for the armor.
Okay, cool.
And also you can see like below that there is a kind of a bar that explains like according
Fast,
to
slow,
yeah, exactly,
weight.
according to your equipment you're going to be more protected or faster. And don't forget to use your potions as well on the there you
Here,
go.
okay. How do I activate the potion?
You just put A and it's going to
Oh,
be equipped.
sweet.
Then you can use it with the
Cool.
D-pad.
I really like the dimensionality of the level design, where you have these like kind of narrow, paths and corridors, and then it
Yes.
kind of widens up in these like arenas.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You have
it
different
feels
types of
super
arenas
good,
with
too.
different waves, or sometimes it's bosses. So you really need to learn kind of the enemy's pattern. You have to be very tactical. A good way to go is not to too much rush the enemies, but kind of like work together to kind of corner them, work on the fastest enemy first, or the ones that are like throwing bombs or shooting arrows. So it's really a co-op game that you play with your friends. It can be also played in single-player mode, where you can switch between two characters depending on what gear you want to use. Usually it's nice to have two different gears, for example, two-handed weapon for one character and the shield and sword for the other one. So there are many different possibilities of combinations in tactics. In terms of graphics, I really like what 1P2P is. So basically, 1P2P is the studio. They're from France. They're watching us right now. So hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
And basically, they're from the north of France. There are two guys and other people working on the team, but originally two guys. When I first saw, we're the publisher basically. When we first saw some images of the game, we're like, wow, that's visually pretty unique. This blend of 2D and 3D that works perfectly. The content that's going to be in the game, it's going to be huge. So this is just a small example of what the game has to give. It's basically the core gameplay with the dungeons, but again, like roaming through the city with those beautiful graphics, talking to NPCs. Cool. They're super cute. They look cool and cute at the same time. That's really why we enjoyed this game at the first look.
Yeah, I really love, because I just love outfits in games, and like all of the outfits look cool, and I love that they actually change when you change what you equip, so you can see the difference, just visually in what you're planning. And the fact that it's really, it's not procedurally based, so you learn and you go back and you can really like grow from each playthrough.
And if you're struggling with one dungeon, you can choose another one.
That's what I was going to do. But I think the other
they're harder.
Yeah, they're harder.
So this is the overworld, or I guess this is the underworld. Right
exactly,
here, that's the map.
exactly. So it's not the final UI. It's just everything is work in progress, the sound and everything, but it's progressing pretty well. Jerome and Baptiste working on the game are doing an amazing job.
So it's progressing. Is there an estimated release date or?
Not yet. We're taking. They're taking their time, and we're supporting them to provide the best quality possible. There's high potential in this game. In terms of content, every time I see news about the game where they explain what they want to integrate, it's always great to hear. It's always great to see. So we're taking our time. There's no rush. We want to make the game as good as it looks. No release date for now.
Right now, it feels really good.
Yeah?
I mean, I love dodging. I love beat 'em ups in general. I'm making a beat 'em up myself, so like.
Nice.
It feels really good, responsive.
Yeah, the Arcade Crew is the indie publishing label of Dotemu, and we're also working on Streets of Rage 4. So we love beat them up ourselves, and when we tested Long Souls, we were like, okay, that feels really good. That feels like a natural beat 'em up, but with swords, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
something
say because you don't
often.
see that in beat 'em ups very much.
Is that me?
That was us.
Oh, we both.
Yeah, we both died.
You guys are pretty bad.
Yeah. I'm just listening to you, man. Oh, this time we're gonna make it.
We're gonna make this happen.
Yeah, don't rush the enemies. Try to kind of
Okay.
approach, and don't forget you can block as well with the left trigger. with your shield. So normally you shouldn't take too much damage. You both have shields, so you should take an approach where you, approach them slowly. So it's the grappling hook. With the grappling hook, you can either pull the enemies towards you or grab them and like go towards them and kind of do an air kick, which is pretty cool.
So
there you go.
Well, that was him.
Yeah. Oh, that was him. Okay. You got the grappling hook?
Yep.
There you go.
So we're seeing them use a lot of tools like the grappling hooks, the swords,
Yes.
but I see they have a mana bar. So is there...
Yes, there's magic. So it's the right trigger if you want to use it. There you go. So you have, right now in the game, you just only have like ice and fire. So fire is direct damage by distance. So it burns your mana, but it does pretty high damages. And the ice magic basically frees your enemies. So it's easier to take them out. So in this example, the best tactic is to freeze the guys that are throwing the bombs. To isolate them, maybe kill the regular
Juggle
goblins
them.
first. Yeah, there you go. That's not too bad.
There you go.
You can also grab some objects by pressing B when you're next to them and throw them on the enemies. There you go.
I love that animation, just kicking that door open.
Yeah. I love the fact that they have armors, but they still have their sneakers.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
It's super cool.
It's super stylish.
Yeah. Again, like they're really cute, but they're badass at the same time. So it's very particular. It's nice.
It kind of reminiscent of what is it called? What is it called? Castle Crashers.
Yeah, it's
but
a bit
way,
like that,
but way
Yeah.
more strategic.
And the 3D take on the environment makes it really nice as well.
Like I'm actually,
Castle Crasher is, of course, a huge inspiration
Yeah.
for the team.
but I actually have to really think. I can't just press.
Yes,
buttons.
exactly.
Yeah.
Castle Crasher was pretty hard. All right, you're not doing too bad. Okay, so on
Maybe
this
we'll get
one,
to the end of this
take your
one.
time.
Okay.
Try don't take on some enemies that are problematic.
And so will the end of each dungeon have maybe like a different sort of scenario? Like this one is survive 3 waves, maybe another one will have like a big boss.
Exactly. So you have different phases in each dungeons. At the end of a dungeon, basically you earn different stuff. So maybe the dungeon was part of a quest that you had in the human world or in the goblin world. That's gonna make you able to, I don't know, grab a new sword or a new armor. You also be able to unlock some objects at the end of the dungeon. At the end of each dungeon, you have basically different chests with coins inside that enable you to buy gear either at the goblin shop or the human world shops. You also have some equipment. You can unlock some new perks as well. So it's really rewarding when you end a dungeon. And the fact that you can choose different dungeons also enables you to kind of think, okay, this dungeon might give me like this new sword that will be very helpful for this other dungeon, for example. So you really have to kind of make like a plan of action when you play the game, so that you optimize the way you play it, and you make sure that you won't have too much hard time to beat a dungeon.
Yeah, but I like that because like you said earlier, you try a dungeon, if it doesn't work out, you're getting frustrated, you're like, well, I'll go to a different one, maybe
Exactly.
earn
Exactly.
enough to get the items that
Exactly.
the first one. Right, what wave are we on? Are you
We're
surviving?
almost at the end.
Oh,
Nice.
don't hesitate to use
can
your
I save?
potion.
How do I
Tristan,
press it?
it's D-pad up. There you go. You have full life now.
Can I still save him?
Try to save
So-
save her. There you go.
Can I do it?
B.
Just press.
Just press it.
Oh, okay. I was like, I ain't happening now, man. These dudes are killing me.
It's okay. You got it.
All right, maybe I can do this. Maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Yay!
Run for your
Now I
life.
have
Run,
to
run,
save.
run. Oh.
And we did.
It's cool. It's super fun.
Oh man. But I like it. It's a quick turnaround though. You say, well, it tells you got wrecked, but then
Yeah.
you can immediately just jump back in.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
You could like define your tactics after that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
battle. I liked
Yeah.
how he froze him, and then I threw a bomb
Exactly.
at him, and
Exactly.
it's really fun.
Yeah.
And you can jump in and out just to press of a button. No, so now I'm playing alone.
So if you're playing alone and then you have a friend coming in, like
Oh,
comes on
that's
your
really
couch
nice.
and boom, like is in the game with you. Also, that's not 100% sure, but for the single player, the team told me that they might plan on integrating a fact that you can kind of call your brother or your sister in combat while you're playing by yourself.
wow.
So they'll do some combos with you and then go back.
Yes.
So there's going to be some mechanics for single player if you don't have friends. But yeah, the best way to play it is, of course, is with your buddies. Yeah.
Casual like. Oh, that's okay. Oh, no judgments. So when there's no expected release date, but do you have an idea of platforms potentially that this will release?
It's going to be PC and console, but we're looking at our options as well. So we want the best for the game. Yeah, we're going to announce more a bit later this year, and the game will be playable at PAX next week. So if people want to try it out, it's maybe one of the occasions. And yeah, we'll do some more announcements by the end of the year.
Cool. Awesome.
Definitely one of my favorite games at the Mix.
Thank you very much. They'll be pleased to hear that.
Yeah.
Again, I'm obsessed with fighting games. So it feels really good.
Oh, the bomb. So how many, do they all have the set number of levels in the dungeon, or does it vary depending on the
it's very variable. So every dungeon is kind of a surprise that you have to learn how it goes, what enemy types are there. Usually, when you choose a dungeon, it explains which type of enemies you're going to encounter. So some enemies are more sensible to fire or to ice. So you're going to take more ice magic, for example, if it makes sense. So really, preparation is key in Young Souls. You really need to gear up before a dungeon according to what you're going to encounter. But again, you don't know how many enemies you're going to encounter, in which rooms and stuff like that, so it's always kind of a surprise.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see what the rest of the worlds, because you mentioned there's like a ghost world, an ice world,
and underworld. It's going to be like with zombie goblins, ice goblins, fire goblins. So yeah, they're really trying to make it as diverse as possible. So you never think, especially in beat 'em up, it's a high challenge because in them you're just fighting all the way, you know. But the fact that they're trying to change the environments, trying to change the challenge for combat, makes that the game is never repetitive. It's always something new. So that's really what they're aiming for right now.
Well, and I love the addition of, like you said, the sort of the narrative where you get to explore the town and sort of take a break from the fighting in the dungeons.
Exactly.
It's really
Actually, the story is being written by Matthew Reeder, who was one of the writers from The Walking Dead Telltale. So the storyline will be really, really worked out well, so that it's not just like a storyline around it, like usually it is in beat 'em up. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
But there, like the intention is that it really matters. There'll be cutscenes, there'll be surprises, there'll be like different events in the story that will make you want to know more. So that's one of the objectives as well for Young Souls.
Oh, dang. So maybe like tissues as well, if I'm hearing
Yes.
Telltale. Probably some emotional moments.
Oh, yeah, but no, some of them are working on Young Souls, for example, so it's good. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, Matthew, the writer, is a really, really good writer. So, and the story that Jérôme and Baptiste created is super cool as well. So we're looking forward to tell more to the players. We might do a story trailer at some point that gives a bit more insights about the story. But yeah, it's going to be really important in the game. Not doing too bad?
Yeah, trying.
Attempting it. Awesome. So in this room, you're just trying to clear the enemies. There's no extra waves or anything like that?
Nope. There are different waves, I think, in this room. Maybe I can jump in.
Well, you're dead. So, how to put it? It's not possible.
Okay.
How's the reception been so far?
That's very good. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice bag.
That was a nice bag,
Yeah, the reception is really, really good. The people love the graphics usually. They're like, oh, what is it? You know, and then they start to play and they really have a good feeling with the gameplay as well. So we're pretty happy. And it makes us want to go forward with it. Cool.
That's exciting to hear. Again,
well, thanks for
go ahead.
Sneaking in there. Yeah, thanks for showing up.
Sure, yeah.
Showing it
thanks for having
last
us.
night
Yeah,
and
thank you.
coming here and showing the game.
It will be at GDC as well. So if people want to come and play, we're in North Hall, GDC Play.
Nice.
Awesome. And at PAX East for those who are on the west or the East Coast.
Exactly. We'll be everywhere.
We'll
never sleep.
Twitter and Facebook. And,
where can they find you on Twitter and Facebook?
You can find us at the Arcade Crew on Twitter and Facebook. And for Young Souls at 1P2P Studio on Twitter and Young Souls Game on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Yes, we're everywhere.
Yep.
everywhere.
And in Paris.
East Coast, West Coast, Europe,
And in Paris.
internet.
Making things happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. All right, well, thank you so much
you very
for
much,
joining
guys.
us. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for showing
Thank you.
off the gameplay. We're going to be right back with yet another game trailer. Stay tuned, stick in your seats, and we'll see you in a bit.
Smell that country air. There's nothing like this in the city. And now, it's all yours, just as it stated in your uncle's will. Rest his soul. I feel like the luckiest man on earth. Where my pigs at? Wow, a cow house, a corn bush, potato orchard, spooky hatch. Whoa, spooky hatch? Oh, you gotta come down here. It's like an old bunker. I ain't getting down no hatch. Oh, come on. What could be safer than a bomb shelter? Safe from what? Nothing bad has ever happened around here.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream. You saw my excited face after watching the Atomic Crops trailer because it's so good. I'm here with the Mix, and we're at Twitch Studios and getting ready to talk about Atomic Crops. So, hi, how are you guys doing today?
Very good. How about yourself?
Good. I mean, sitting under the hot lights, just talking about indie games. So
Bacon.
yeah, it's a little warm.
Segue from Atomic Crops.
Yeah.
But speaking of warm, a nuclear bomb just kind of went off in the game. Tell us a little bit about your inspiration for this farm that has really seen better days.
Well,
That's amazing. Sorry.
Or maybe this is the better day. I don't know.
I'm glad you guys
It just
enjoyed
gets
it.
worse.
So Atomic Crops is an action-packed roguelite farming simulator.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with the idea. I was playing a lot of Stardew Valley. Have you played Stardew Valley?
Too many hours.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like going down into the caves, killing slimes and farming, building my economy. I was like, what if I just put these two together, the fighting and the farming in the same game, and mashed it up. So I did that. I built the prototype in about a week. I pitched it to Raw Fury. They loved it. I reached out to Toby. He did Nidhogg 2. I love the art on that.
Oh, nice.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I thought that was a really good fit. He was on board, and now we have this, Atomic Crops.
It's so good.
So I knew I was looking at the art style, and then we
Yeah.
talked at Day of the Devs 2 years ago.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we actually showed your game at Evo. We showed Nidhogg 2 at Evo, and we had a a few tournaments. So I just reckon I was like, no, it
Yeah.
can't be.
It's very
this
distinct.
style.
It's very distinct.
But it has more of a cartoony vibe to it.
little
You know
bit,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
as
yeah. I mean, everything's a little bit smaller. There's like more little bits.
Yeah.
But yeah.
it has tons of personality, and you get like just looking at the gameplay, you could
Yeah.
tell like the mechanics and stuff. It comes through quite visceral. Visceral way.
Well, just that the rainbow, the cloud rainbow that's attacking you in the trailer, or the
yeah,
angry
the sun.
sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's jump into the game and just sort of break down what players can go into.
All right, Toby's gonna drive. Don't die.
Guys told me I'm
Toby,
not allowed
please.
to die. Not quite.
You're not allowed to die.
So, I mean, you said your inspiration Stardew Valley, so I would expect you've got the different seasons, crops that you can grow.
Exactly. So the game works. It's each day. You can go explore during the day. Nothing's gonna eat your crops, and then at night, enemies come and they try to devour your crops. So basically, during the day, you're gonna explore. You're gonna find seeds. You're gonna find power-ups. You're gonna try to build synergies, just like a proper roguelite. And then at night, you're gonna use all those power-ups and stuff to defend. And then at the end of the day, you go back to town and you turn your crops in for cash, and you buy more power-ups. And then you just do that for 5 seasons. You may ask, what's the 5th season? So we start with spring, then we go to summer, and then we go to fall. Then
They know those ones, I think.
yeah, and then winter. Those are the basic ones, right? We do all the basic ones. Then we have nuclear winter.
Nice.
And that's like amped up. It's like, I think the crops are gonna grow at double speed. There's gonna be more enemies. It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna put everything you built up to the test in that last season. So yeah, and at the end of each season, there's a festival where you turn in your crops, which we'll see in a bit, but that's sort of like where you get rewards. You get evaluated on your, on how you did that season.
So it looks like this is daytime right here.
This is daytime, so what you're
even
gonna
in daytime, you've still got to worry a little bit about other critters.
Yeah, so during the day, you're gonna go out to the biomes. In each direction, we have like different environments, and the seed.
I just got a cow.
Yeah, he just got a cow. So the cow, like the farm animals help you automate farm tasks, so the cow will like water your crops for you.
Oh, that's real helpful.
Yeah, and you'll find them out in the world. So this is like to the east is the plains, to the west is a desert, to the north is a tundra, and to the south is a jungle. So each biome has like different seeds you find. And each, I spent a lot of time on Wikipedia making sure that all the seeds were like appropriate for the climate. So it's a bit educational in that sense.
This is a realistic game, right?
Exactly. I did a lot of research.
I like how you're shooting Babs Bunny.
Yeah. So the main enemy is a bandit. It's like a bandit and a bunny.
That's cute.
So they're coming to get your crops, right?
It's nighttime now.
Yeah. You didn't find any seeds. Yeah, sometimes. Seeds can be quite rare sometimes. But you'll see, this is the nighttime, so he's got to defend. You'll see some slugs in a bit. So like we have slugs and locusts are the main enemies, and the bandits bring them out.
Gonna fertilize.
Yeah, so there's a big crop. So if you plant your crops in like a 2x2 grid, and then you fertilize them enough, they become a giant crop, like this.
The eye blinking is
It's
great.
so grotesque. I love it.
Oh, I love it.
So great job. A helicopter will bring you to town every morning. Remember, if you die, everyone will starve. You got to shoot the till friend, enjoy. So that's,
No pressure.
yeah, no pressure.
So besides Stardew Valley, what was your inspiration with the shooting side of things?
Definitely Nuclear Throne. So,
Okay, okay.
it's like Stardew Valley mashed up with Nuclear Throne.
We play a lot of Gungeon as well.
Play some Gungeon. Yeah, I love Gungeon. I just love roguelites, right?
Yeah.
So we're just, the goal is to just build a game that I want to play, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to do it,
Exactly.
for real.
So yeah, that's where that's the inspiration.
Is it just you guys working on it?
It's,
Do you have
it's Toby and Jonas Turner. He did the sound for Nuclear Throne, so
Okay.
he's amazing. He did the music and the sound, which is incredible. And then it's me doing the programming, the game design. So here's your buddy. He comes with the helicopter at the end of every day to bring you back home. So there's like you turn in. So Toby got $20. It's pretty good for the first day. Not bad. Yeah.
I like that character right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in town you can buy
That
items.
knife, though.
And then also we'll have like
Item for the horse.
yeah.
Oh, are those items that you can decorate? Do you have a house in this game? Can you?
So we are talking about adding like a farmhouse. So the way it works is you do about an hour-long run, right? And then in between games, we want to have like a farmhouse where you hang out between runs, where you spend your meta points and like unlock new content and maybe make each run a little bit better. Like maybe you start each run with a turret, right? So yeah, we do want to have a farmhouse, but
all of those items in the shop, they were like upgrades for like your gun and your farming equipment and stuff.
yeah. So the way the gun upgrades work is they're all additive. So you don't like find a new gun and it replaces your old one. It's more like Binding of Isaac where everything just stacks and synergizes. I really like that because it's simple. There's always, you don't have to like throw a gun away and like choose between a gun. But there's going to be a lot of choices with what items you choose and how they synergize. But I just like the simplicity of everything adding. So by the end of the game, you have like triple shot with homing bullets that drop extra fertilizer and like, pretty crazy. So here's a flamingo. He gives you the flamingo gives you roses, and you use the roses to marry people in town.
Ooh, wait. Let's talk about that then.
Yeah. So the tagline of the game is "Farm, Marry, Kill," and the farming we're seeing here, the kill we're seeing how you gather fertilizer by killing enemies and find seeds and stuff. But the marry part, you gather roses and you give it to the certain townsfolk, and then they'll become your friend, and then they'll become your girlfriend or boyfriend, and then enough roses they'll marry you, and then they'll farm with you or fight with you alongside you. Really.
Oh,
and
and
then,
you were riding a.
yeah, so he got
for a second.
he got a horse upgrade. So when you're out of combat for a few seconds, like 5 seconds, you'll hop on a horse and you can run extra fast. So that allows you to explore everywhere a lot faster and get around quicker. Because going back and forth between the farm, there's a lot of power-ups that revolve around that. So you can have like a build where you're like, oh yeah, the chicken will break weeds, the cow waters. And then we have a pig. Hopefully it finds a pig, and the pig will expand the farmable area and till the soil. So yeah, here's night 2. It's a little bit more stressful.
So going back to marriage and wooing other people in this farm village. So you give them roses, you develop a relationship. How many are there? Like lots of options
So yeah, we want to have like maybe 6 people you can marry, and then every time you upgrade your relationship with them, they're dropping out a power up or like giving you like bonuses to your attack damage or whatever. So there's always the roguelite element tied into everything, right? Like,
wait, so how do you upgrade your relationships?
By throwing more roses at them.
Sounds like just like real life.
Exactly.
Always works. I just tried that last week.
Right, that's how I got married. Highway.
Just toss them.
Yeah, just throwing
hitting them in their head. Like,
You just need enough.
Yeah.
4, maybe 5. All right, I got a couple of roses now.
Yeah, so we're gonna be able to show off
Oh, good.
the relationship system this night. So yeah, with all these weeds, when you break a weed, sometimes like a little treasure pops out. So you could have like a whole weed build where you have like, a weed whacker, so you can break the weeds faster, and then like get an upgrade that says like weeds drop 50% more seeds, and then we're gonna have tractors in the game, so you get a big weed whacker tractor.
Right.
And like bust through all the weeds, and then they're just dumping out seeds and fertilizer and like. So there's a lot of synergies and stuff that revolve around the farming theme. I mean, it's been great making a game with farming because it's like there's so much stuff we can do.
you can be so creative.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Oh.
So you really do just throw the roses at them.
Yeah.
Dry.
Yeah.
What did he give you?
We got
a drone.
We got a drone.
Nice.
Quadcopter.
And the patch missiles, like when you plant crops of the same type next to each other, they like release missises.
Nice.
How
So it's like pollination or something like
something like that. Yeah, we gotta like we have to go through and like theme all the items properly. I come up with names, but it's a lot of fun. But you know, some of like right now it's just called patch missile, but we'll have to come up with something clever and like.
I mean, there's already a lot of farming puns.
There's so many
and
puns.
there's
We have
only
like
gonna be
shoot
more.
to till and like. All the stuff that like all the copy that Raw Fury puts out is like all these puns. And I'm just
Yes.
like, ah,
It's so
they're
good.
funny. But
sometimes you're like, corny homie. Like, just dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
The game is cropping up in
Exactly.
2020. Like,
oh man, shoot the till, all that stuff is good. So this is a tree here. It's an orchard. Like they're great if you get them early because they just keep making fruit every day. They're very beneficial to your economy. And with like the 1x1 crops, if you plant, 4 trees together, they'll become a mega tree.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's like the most epic crop you can get. So these are bison, another pun.
Bees.
They're like bison and bees.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
What are those little cute yellow-tailed things?
So,
Those are.
Jonas said there's some actual like Scandinavian folklore.
Yeah, that was
to that,
Jonas's
right?
idea.
There's
It was
something
good. He
like-
said like the foxes run and they create the aurora borealis or something.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, let's put that in. They just drop bullets as they run around.
So what does the drone do?
The drone will just attack enemies periodically, and you can get upgrades. Like if you're getting a lot of drones and turrets, you can get a bunch of upgrades that synergize with them, so they attack faster or further. Or someone suggested putting an upgrade where all the drones attack where you attack, so you could sort of like aim them and stuff.
That's
so
cool.
yeah.
But we want like different types of drones as well, like maybe farming drones. You were saying about bees.
Oh God, this is.
Oh God, I shouldn't talk.
Please pay attention, Toby.
It's okay. It's okay.
He's got this. Oh.
It's all right. I have to make it look like I might die.
Yeah, put everyone on the edge of their seat.
Yeah.
You got to put on a good show.
Strategy.
So that thing brings you to the boss.
whoa.
So here's our first boss. He's abundant on a snail, and he's just gonna go for your crops. And he drops slugs.
I just
got a
got
nice
that
little
pun.
trail behind you.
Super late. Extra late.
Delayed reaction. So yeah, this guy's funny. I love this guy.
Sort of like it was meant to be like a bit of a Mad Max
Yeah.
style, but instead of a big kind of weird truck, he's got a giant snail.
I imagine those must be crazy fun to animate because they have so much emotion. You know what I
It is
mean?
quite
Like,
fun. Yeah, for sure. And like in Danny's original demo, even though the art that he made himself, was, even though it wasn't like
Everyone had a problem with my art.
That's funny. He's like
I know,
trying
it's
to
like trying to find the words.
He's like, it was
Be
whack,
polite.
but
Be polite.
That shit was extra
No,
whack.
I'm trying to say something nice. Even though it wasn't good, it's like that sense of humor and that like weirdness and wackiness that was there from the start.
I wish you knew what you wanted when you were going into how you wanted it to be expressed.
I thought the animations were pretty good. All right. Like,
that's what matters, really.
Yeah.
I want to see it now. I want to see the old school stuff.
I think
I'll post it's up somewhere. I'll post it. People can see it. So this is the town festival. So at the end of each season,
yay.
So there's Tina Turnip. You turn in your from like Mad Max.
Wow, Tina Turnip.
Yeah, so you turn in your crops. You get evaluated on like how
Less
you did.
starving.
Yeah, the town. So there's like
You
10
didn't do
different
too
levels. So in here, the Box Street Choi's playing their music to
Stop
celebrate.
it.
Oh my gosh. Get this
Box
game
Street.
for the puns alone.
Street
It's
Choi's
so good.
That is so good. Tina Turnip, though, you stacked those ones.
Yeah,
They're
it's
right
like
next to each
right
other.
on each other.
I think someone from Twitter came up with that. We shouldn't take credit for it.
Box
Yeah, we
Street
posted it. No, it was I think one of us came up with Bok Choy Boys, right? And then someone was like, "Why don't you just do Bok Street Choi's?" And we're like, all
That's
right.
way better.
So
So
Oh,
that was the
is so
festival.
good.
Like, yeah, he got rewards and stuff based on how he did.
Can't afford.
Yeah, you can't afford much.
Wow. Yeah, I have to say, just like the puns alone. I mean, I was already sold with the animation, with the inspiration from Stardew Valley, but the puns have just like sealed the deal. I'm really excited.
I think it's super dope too. I'm not a big like farming game fan.
Yeah.
Like Stardew Valley's not really my jam, but I love Into the Gungeon.
Well, there you go.
And, you know what I mean? Nuclear
Yeah.
Throne. So this may like lead me into
I'm targeting
playing.
you. This is the demographic.
Gateway into
It's a gateway into Animal Crossing. Like, what the fuck now? I'm playing.
It's dangerous. Don't do
like
it. Don't
100
do it.
hours of Animal Crossing. Now what's going
Join
on?
us.
Gateway drug.
Oh,
really is.
exactly.
Oh man.
This is the jungle biome. So here you'll get like rice and coffee and stuff that grows in the jungle. We got panthers and beetles and stuff. It's more like it's like down here, it's more like swarming enemies. So if you get like area of effect damage, it's like you could come down here and focus on the jungle area. Oh, there's another chicken.
Yeah,
So
was this single player or is it gonna be like co-op or
single player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no, Toby, please.
Actually,
Please focus.
everyone be quiet.
Oh, and fix bridge. So you'll be able to gather resources to fix the bridge to expand your
Yeah.
area of exploration.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah, there's
Toby has
Oh.
1 health.
Oh no.
the way of that.
Please get
Yeah,
the
so
help.
all the biomes, they have like some sort of barrier, sort of sectioning them off.
Yeah, so there's like level 1 biome, level 2 biome, and then maybe we'll have like a secret 3rd biome, but
But we're not going to mention
yeah,
that.
we're not gonna say whether we have it or not.
We
You'll have
didn't
to find
hear
out for
any.
yourself.
Yeah.
But like the further you go out into the world, the better the seeds are, the better the loot is, the more money you'll earn. And then
Oh, it's good drawing.
yeah, there'll be like power-ups that let you like traverse back and forth between the biome and your farm. So if you really want to go out far, but you like get things and you get a bunch of seeds and you want to hop back to the farm, you have to get the right build. Allow you to tunnel down back to the farm and then go back and keep exploring. So this is the final boss here.
The final boss
For
of
the
demo.
demo. This is
Yeah,
this
it's
is like the
not-
summer. This is the summer
for
boss.
today,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yes, that's what I was
awesome.
talking.
Yeah.
The rainbow sun.
That's
So-
super cool.
So he'll burn your crops. Yeah, he looks quite happy. Real bad. He's just trying to help.
He's like a happy asshole.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And so you got to water your crops to put out the fire
Oh.
whilst trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love like the layers that get
Yeah.
added into this. This is great.
It gets really quite stressful to play.
I know. I'm like, this feels great just because I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I like how the cows just, just keeps doing it.
Doesn't
even though
care.
this is
Yeah.
He
scary
doesn't
as
care.
fun.
He's not phased. Oh yeah, it is. I think it's fun to watch. I enjoy watching people play it.
so is there an estimated release date for the game?
End of 2019, sometime around there. We don't have like a set date yet. It'll be on consoles and PC. That's our goal. But he has a scroll here. If he presses X, it'll expand the farmable area, break all weeds.
Go do some farming at the same time.
Oh no, the sun is so sad.
Yeah, there's a phase 2 too.
Nice.
There we go, phase 2, baby.
Oh
Sick.
dang.
That looks so awesome.
What?
Yeah, when I first saw that, when Toby submitted that, I was like, dude, this is amazing.
It's dope. Like the veins on his
Yeah.
head and stuff. I like that detail.
Yeah, the sun flares just bursting out.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh no!
He didn't make
Can I cheat?
it. No.
No.
No, I mean,
We wanted to show off the death screen is actually better than the victory screen. We put more effort into it.
Wow, 79.
That's like totally
that's total programmer. Like,
I mean-
we need this in here. Gotta make it happen.
Everyone dies. Not many people win.
everyone dies.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Danny and Toby, thank you so much for sharing Atomic Crops with us. Again, the trailer is just so funny. I would love a cartoon. Just if we wanted to add another thing to your plate, just the animation on that cartoon is great,
It's
and then
so good, yeah.
it perfectly shows off the personality that the art captures when you play. So, it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, thanks for
awesome.
showing.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for showing last night too.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we will be back with our final game. So stay tuned and enjoy this trailer from Star Renegades.
Attached.
Welcome to the Mix Live here at Twitch HQ. We're so excited to be sharing our final game with you today. Again, my name is Jenny Windom, and I'm here with Justin, the founder of the Mix, and the reason we're all here talking about these games. And I have here Ken and Gary.
Yep.
Oh, yes, I remembered. Gary has a cold today, but he'll be showcasing the gameplay of Star Renegades. So, Ken, could you tell us a little bit about this futuristic sort of world that we've just saw?
Yeah, Star Renegades is a roguelike strategy RPG using a lot of influences from some of the classic games like Grandia and Chrono Trigger, and some of the new games like Slay the Spire. So we have a combat system that's very, I guess we call it deterministic, because there's no random number generation in our combat.
Oh, so you...
It's all about strategy.
That's really
that's
great.
interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I saw that there's sort of the resist sort of slogan that's happening. So what's happening in this world?
So in this world, it's basically a constant rebellion back and forth between the Imperium and the rebels, I guess. And sometimes the rebels win, and there'll be some peace for a number of years, and then the Imperium rise again. So our idea was basically to have the game take place over many generations of rebellions and also failed rebellions. Yeah. So each time you play the game, it represents time passing and another generation of resistance fighters.
That's really interesting. You don't often see games that take a scope of generations within the game. So really interested to see how that plays in the storyline.
Yeah. Well, we have an interesting element called camaraderie. So the characters that you choose in the game, they can level up their companionship, and at the highest level of companionship, basically it unlocks off-sprint characters for future gameplay, and that's kind of goes in line with the generation thing.
Let's get into the gameplay.
Yeah,
let's
let's show it off.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah. We need the controller. Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Little delay.
Just needed to...
So that was the rebel base that you saw, and in our game, it is a roguelike. But there's a lot of permanent improvements and unlocks that you can accrue over time as you play.
Wow, this pixel art is stunning.
Yeah,
The
we
level of
definitely went overboard. Our artist is kind of a mad genius. You'll see soon one of the anime characters, he actually hand drew 450 frames of animation for one character.
For one?
One character, yeah. So that's why I call him a mad genius, because I hope he lives to finish the game. He definitely overworks himself.
He'd be struggling.
Yeah.
What is that little drone character that was popping up?
That's your friendly, not so kind of sarcastic helper. Name is Justin.
Okay.
We named him after the Canadian Prime Minister, I guess. I don't know. It just seemed funny. So the character on the right, the enemy, is the Firewolf. He's the guy with the 450 hand-drawn frames of animation.
Wow.
Every state of our characters is shown. So instead of using icons to show that somebody's tired, or if they're on fire, or if they're reloading or charging, we actually have animations to show
That's
it.
so cool.
Yeah, so you see he's charging up an attack right now.
So you can use that subtlety to like strategize kind of figure out what's happening.
Oh, absolutely. Well, actually, if you, Gary, if you can, the next turn, there's actually a button you can press, the right trigger, which will let you examine exactly what the enemy is planning to do, and then it's up to you to choose how to counteract it.
That's awesome.
That's part of what we took from games like Grandia, where you can interrupt the enemy's attacks, you can counter them, you can basically, if you're really good, you can basically get out of combat without taking any damage. But if you, only if you like, read it really well and make no mistakes.
I like how it zooms in too while you're getting ready to attack.
Oh yeah. Our artist is a fan of fighting games, so we kind of had a little bit of that element in our combat animation.
So it looks like you can wander around this overworld map and maybe select some of the missions that you take in this.
Yeah, so you're on one big mission. Each time you basically start a rebellion, and it can take place over a number of different planets. So we'll plan to have about 6 to 8 planets, and each planet will have, like a proper planet, will probably have around 10 to 15 regions that you can explore, but you only generally see one region each time you play through with that planet.
Oh,
so that's why we keep it pretty fresh. And the content that you see on the planet, each region has, I would call it multiple, zones. And each zone has the ability will be generating content for those zones. Like they're a little bit like, not quite like puzzles, but they're like little scenarios per zone. So one zone might have an alien city that is getting bombarded, so a rebel city is getting bombarded, and it's up to you to reach the artillery in time to halt it from destroying the city entirely. And that could just be the scenario for that one zone. And another zone could have a whole entirely different scenario where you have to gather a few things.
Right.
And that will be all procedurally generated, so it won't be the same every time you play.
That's cool.
So what we're seeing here.
Oh, I was just going to ask you, how long have you been working on it?
Just over a year and a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And we got about just over a year, a bit more to go before we launch.
Nice.
Yeah. As you can see, there's going to be a lot of art in this game. So each planet will have its own set of backgrounds that you see here. This is the train background, but it's only going to be for this planet. So of the multiple planets, we're going to have a ton of interesting backgrounds. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're trying to make the backgrounds really interesting and lively.
Looks slick. Even the transitions with the things folding out. And
yeah, exactly. So each of the characters here, you see in their health bar, they have a shield, they have armor, and they have health. Red is the health. During a mission, there's no way to actually heal yourself unless you find some supplies during exploration.
Okay.
So you definitely want to avoid getting any health damage if you can help it. And if you're good, you can generally avoid it, but you have to basically be perfect. But that's fine. You'll get there as you play.
Yeah.
So do your shields regenerate, or you have to,
some characters have powers that will boost the shields up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you say this is a fairly challenging game? Like maybe someone who's familiar with sort of strategy, like someone who wants to get sort of in-depth into these kind of systems, this is the game for them?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be challenging, but I think because we're being so transparent with all the numbers, there's nothing hidden. There's no, dice roll that will throw you right off.
Random.
Yeah, so we kind of inspired a little bit by games like Slay the Spire, where you kind of see everything that's going to happen. So the learning process is definitely much easier. There's no mystery as to, you know exactly why you got beaten, basically, every time you get beaten.
That's great.
And that's how the learning will happen.
You mentioned fighting games. Is that an influence at all? Because when you're playing a fighting game, that's always the case too. It's like you kind of know why you beat. You kind of beat yourself a lot of times.
Yeah.
And you have to learn along the way the tactics to take on another boss, and you maybe have those subtle cues when you fight another enemy You know what I mean? Did that have any?
I definitely think there's some of that influence in there because, well, AR Artist is actually a huge fan of fighting games, so some of the art that the animation and combat stuff that he's putting up definitely has that vibe. But in our game, like in fighting games, defending and evading and countering is something that is not just, unlike some RPGs where you only defend when you have nothing else to do.
Right.
Here is actually, if you don't defend at for certain times, you'll get wiped out. It's definitely a viable option. We also have a full loot system that you can equip your characters with various items. Some of them will change your power significantly. So there's one item we equipped that allows this guy to basically do all of his powers to be area of attack instead of single target. So including the buffs. So that basically changes his role sometimes, depending on what equipment you find. And you can play around with various equipment to get the right combination of synergy that you like.
Yeah.
Cool. We try to think we made this game more approachable. Like, you can come at it if you have, any kind of JRPG experience or RPG experience, and the tactics you'll learn as you play.
Yeah, and I do love in the battle and when you're going through everything is listed out for you,
Yeah,
so you
there's no
don't have to
mystery.
remember or do anything like that.
Like, you may not notice, but when you were examining an enemy's attack, if you look at the health bars, it will actually flash what the state will be after you get hit by this attack.
Cool.
So you can see when something is directly life-threatening or if it's something that you can just ignore because you have enough shields.
Right.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the music?
Oh, yeah. So we have the same
Very
composer.
atmospheric, you know?
Yeah, we have the same composer as we had for our previous game, Halcyon 6. And if anybody played that, there was just a lot of different tracks for all the different aliens. So we're kind of going the same with this one, where each planet will have its own musical themes. We're really don't have any limit right now as to what we're trying to do with the music, so we're going to see how far we get when we get there. But it's generally a really cool kind of synthwave style of music.
Cyberpunk, cool vibe.
Was Justin just flipping us off?
Yeah.
I just had to make sure.
Oh, I see it, Justin.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he was mad because you had one job.
That's
and
great.
we didn't get it done.
So I'm really interested because, again, the characters and this idea of because I get very attached to the characters that I create and work with and level up in these games, and the idea that eventually you're not going to have these characters anymore because you're going to be working with their offspring in other generations. Could you speak to that a little bit more?
Yeah, so whether you win or lose, will just move time forward. So if you win, you can basically, I think right now we're thinking you can keep one character from your existing squad to carry forward to the next rebellion cycle. And then everybody else will be kind of new versions of that type of class, except for the one character. But I think they're going to get older. So you can only carry that one person on for so many generations before they're just too old and they start having kind of negative aspects to their abilities because they're old. A little bit like how Star Wars carries the generations through their movies. So we're kind of inspired a little bit like that.
Wow, that's unique. I don't think I've seen that in very many games.
Yeah, so that's something we're really excited to kind of just really explore different design options for, because we're just starting to play with it now. There's another aspect of the game that I haven't talked about yet. So there's that bounty hunter on the right side of the screen right now. He's got the cool jetpack. So he is what we would consider an adversary. So we have a little bit of a Nemesis style system, like from Shadow of Mordor, but we call it the adversary system. And each of these adversaries will have their own pathway to level up and get to the top to be emperor if they somehow get there. But we also have some interesting stuff where if your character dies in your squad, let's say you have 6 characters, you can have up to 6 characters in your squad. One of them dies, but you run across, say, somebody else that like another hero that you really want to add to your squad, but you can't afford to revive your character. You can just dump your character's corpse on the planet and abandon him or her. But that leaves it open for the enemy to find them and then revive them and make them an adversary.
That's super cool.
What?
So-
Oh my gosh.
In order to ever play that particular character again, you have to
Win them back or
win them back somehow.
Oh.
And if you don't, they could eventually also level up to be emperor.
Yeah.
So the guy that you abandoned could end up being your worst enemy.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
love like like this just seems like one of those games that would be really cool to share with your friends and be like, this is what happened to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what happened to you, because like everyone's gonna have a slightly different experience as a result of this relation, the camaraderie system.
So you're gonna love this. At the end of a run, like whether you fail or die, whether you fail or win, you'll actually get to a screen where it shows the rebellion history. So that becomes part of the history of your entire play of this game for your profile. So whether you play the game 50 times or 100 times, you can always go back and look at what happened during your previous rebellion. It's like a log of
So
the
a timeline, like a timeline type thing. That's
Exactly.
so
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, getting beaten
No,
here.
no.
I can
Yeah.
see people doing like fucked up stuff just on purpose, dropping people off just
Yeah.
to see
Right, just to
how
set
it
up these
happened.
situations.
Yeah, set out like this narrative
Yeah.
on your own.
gosh,
I
Exactly.
think that's what I would do. That's why.
Yeah, we're really hoping for some really interesting player stories to be shared because of, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like all the enemies you're seeing here, they're going to be procedurally generated for each mission on these planets. The planet maps themselves won't be procedurally generated 'cause we feel like the hand-drawn maps are just way more beautiful and we can really control like the zoning, but the actual content within the zones will be different. And there'll be enough regions, so even if you go to the same planet like 3 or 4 times in a row, you'll see different areas because we'll have like 10 to 15 different areas that you can explore.
Wow. And how many planets? Did you say how many planets? there were
Between 6 and
planned?
8, we're still trying to figure that
Yeah.
out. Yeah. Because every planet will have its own unique artistic theme,
Right.
and that will require all its own unique different backgrounds, and obviously all these maps. It's a lot of
That's a
content.
lot of art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of work.
But we want people to be playing this for a while. So I should probably touch on the roguelike aspect a little bit. So we're really inspired by kind of the new roguelike games like Dead Cells, where I noticed that when I play something like, when I play Dead Cells, I don't even play to sometimes get really far. Sometimes I just play to get enough to unlock like the grenade or another thing. And I was like, that's really interesting. I'm just making up my own missions for myself. And I feel like just hacking at it for 20 minutes, even if I don't really care if I'm making it any far, if I can unlock that weapon, I feel like I've succeeded and progressed in my game. And we're kind of doing something similar with ours. So you'll be collecting enough, I guess, resistance points
Right.
that whether you fail or succeed, you'll always be making progress, making upgrades to your base, unlocking weapons, unlocking characters.
Oh no.
Oh,
One more left. Here we go.
I blame the sickness.
Yeah.
He's usually better
He's
than
not
this.
thinking straight.
He's delusional now. He's delirious. Yeah.
Where are you guys based out of?
We're from Toronto.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, more Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are really like. It seems like the indie scene is flourishing there. I feel like a lot of games are coming out of the Toronto scene.
Yeah, Toronto and Montreal. I think both cities have a lot of support from a lot of the local government programs to kind of give grants to indie developers that want to create stuff. So we've been pretty lucky with the support from programs like Ontario Creates, and I know Montreal has a lot of support from Quebec, Quebec as well. Yeah, and so you get a lot of talent just kind of pools up.
Migrates over.
Yeah, and we have the huge studios that, like Ubisoft,
Right.
and I feel like people cycle in through those studios and they come back out and they can also create their own studios.
You didn't
It's a
see
really
it
good
yet. It's all
ecosystem.
good. keep talking about the indie scene.
Fail.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, we got a really good glimpse at what the possibilities are in the game. One last question. So we've got 3 characters on our squad now. How many characters can a player expect to be able to sort of get to know throughout their playthrough of the game?
I think I'm trying to remember the number that we saw on screen. 15.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's a good number of combinations.
But we'll probably add some more as we go. Yeah.
Nice.
We really we want to kind of add as many characters as I can so that the camaraderie system and the offspring system will really come alive with a lot of different variations.
Yeah. Awesome. So where can people who are interested in this game find out more?
StarRenegades.com and our publisher Raw Fury.
Yeah, congratulations. You just announced that very recently.
Yeah,
I
just the
feel
other
like.
week.
Yeah, just last week.
Yeah.
So congratulations
Yeah.
on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for showing up, for showing off Star Renegades. Again, it looks beautiful. I'm really excited about the sort of strategic, tactical gameplay on there.
In case anybody thought that it won't be hard enough, well, we just failed. So there definitely will be a challenge, but again, it's a learning curve that I think is progressive. Yeah.
Well, thanks for showcasing.
Oh,
Thanks
thank
for
you so
jumping on
much.
that, you know what I mean? Jumping on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. All right, so it looks like we are going to take a quick break as we transition, and we will be right back.
Head down, look in my eyes, tell me what you don't know. Hey now, put up a fight, I know how I won't let go. Hands out to the sky, we reach for tomorrow. Break down, look at your life, why you wanna be known. Head down, look in my eyes, tell me what you don't know. Hey now, put up a fight, I know how I won't let go. Hands out to the sky, we reach for tomorrow. No, we don't wanna die, we'd rather be alone. Are you the animal, cannibalistic missile, crushing all around? Are you the animal? Do you remember out on a limb you listen quiet all around? Are you the animal? I'm not afraid of you. I feel we're ready tonight. But time is on my side. Feel it going inside me, but you'll never find me. I need my heart to make me
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Mix Live. I am Jenny Windom. I'm here with Justin, and we are closing out on pretty much a full afternoon of indie games. We had 7 games that we featured today on stream, 7 that we featured last night, and 56 that were at the event in all.
56, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing to see these guys in person. I mean, I saw them last night. I've talked to them previously because I helped curate, but just seeing them live, ask them questions about development, just getting to play, play the games and see them play the games as they're meant to be played is really, exciting to see it, because we'll talk to them, but we don't always get to sit in and kind of get the nitty gritty on what's happening. So it's very much a treat.
It is. Well, and I personally love just seeing like the light in their eyes as they're talking about these things that they're making, these games, because it's one thing to read, oh, this is a farming sim roguelite, inspiration.
Sorry.
The alarms. But it's one thing to read like roguelite, farming sim, mashup, and then another to see it in action and see the art and see the music
and also the inside jokes. Like Atomic Crops, like they're having a lot of fun making these games, and you don't because they're so into it. Like this is their art form, and their life is dedicated to this.
Yeah.
You don't really get to see that. I mean, you may get that glimpse, of emotion when you're playing the game, but you get to actually see how they're laughing with each other about these particular jokes or whatever these puns.
Like ramen.
They were having a
so
ball.
much fun.
Yeah. and just how folks come up with different ideas. Like they were just eating. Right? Ramen, and hey, let's make a game, and they just got together and made a game.
Yeah.
And you don't ever know, they don't know if it's gonna fail, but at this point in their lives, it's a passionate experience for them to make that happen.
Yeah, I think, and I've said this before, but I think there's something really special, particularly with all games, but with indie games, you see it a little bit more easily, where the stories behind the games can really shine, and the stories behind the games really influence how the game is made. A lot of times the budget constraints are why they have to make certain decisions to, cut certain things, but then that in turn shapes the gameplay to be something totally unique because they had those constraints.
Yeah,
so I think there's something really, really special about what we see when we see these games.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. Like each time we have an event, I mean, we rotate out games. Some games will be at multiple events because they need exposure in different areas. So GDC is a very particular place. There's tons of. It's mostly developers. I mean, it's the game developers conference. And then there's publishers, and then Nintendo and PlayStation and Microsoft and all the the big cats are in here. Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking toss this right here. This
Your watch is
watch. Can someone get this out of here? Sorry, I don't know how to stop it. Yeah, I'm gonna sell it on them. So speaking of the mix, you know what I mean?
Good segue.
I'm gonna segue this in real raw. Like Ramen. But we have a mixed merch store, as you can see. Boom. Boom.
I know.
Oops,
I need to
wrong
get
way.
a hat.
I gotta hook you up. And we have the Asian Game Showcase, and that is happening tomorrow, actually. Oh, there's the mixed merch. So we have hats and shirts, and really when it comes to, the mix, it's like pretty much self-sustained through, the contribution of sponsors. And then the developers put a small portion of, money for their space, but really we just do this for the love of it. So, supporting the mix through, possibly purchasing a hat or purchasing, a shirt or whatnot, it helps us to sustain what we're doing. And helps us to provide more places where we can help indie developers get visibility and this type of thing. So, that being said, yeah, if you want to check out some of the stuff, really cool stuff. We always use art, work. I was going to say use. That sounds fucked up, but we always work with artists that we've worked with in the past and friends that have worked previously in indie games, and we try to create a new design for each one of our events now. So David Hellman from Braid, he did the one at E3. Nathan Shorts from Toe Jam and Earl did the one at PAX.
That one was really cool.
Yeah. So we try to mix it up. That was corny as hell.
Hey.
I tried not to, but
it's all the puns. They're just
puns are just permeating
us.
through my body right now, along with the Red Bull. But anyway, that's that. But yeah, what we were talking about last night was I think was really great. It's great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the mix is always really, it's a really fun, really chill event. Some events you go to and you can feel like they're just, I don't know, there's almost too much of a certain kind of energy, but when you go to the mix, it's like you can play the games. That's huge. Sometimes you can't play all of the games. And you can there's food and drinks, and you can talk to the devs. It's a very personal feeling event, which is incredible because, it's packed. Last night, I feel like you have to kind of
You have to elbow,
squeeze
you gotta-
squeeze through a little bit, but it hasn't lost its really personal feeling, which is really nice.
Yeah, I think like what we've really wanted to create and what we've succeeded in creating is a place where developers can feel comfortable. You know what I mean? So they're not completely put on the spot. It's a warm atmosphere. It doesn't feel like this like
That's a great way
sterile, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thing. It has to have like a warm vibe. So we have, like, I think like I mentioned before, we have, you know, previously we just had kegs, you know what I'm saying? Like now we'll have a bar and stuff like that, but we still have it in like really interesting venues.
Right.
And we try to showcase the games in different ways where it just doesn't seem like, you know, like this generic feel. And we had a DJ Rage. Rob was a DJ last night. He was hilarious. But yeah, so we had a DJ last night, and right now, like the mixed crew, like it's pretty much a family. So I'm a game developer. We're working on a game called Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch. You guys could check that out. chronicbluntpunch.com. I'm tossing that in there.
Yeah, just throw that in.
Yeah, but Joel, who's a partner, Travis has been really busting his ass. Matt, Emily, like all these folks who, Jenny, thank you so much. We've just like really put together a really cool team, and some of that team is from my development team, and so they understand kind of like how indie developers operate.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like how to communicate with other indie developers, as do I. So I'm like very particular at certain things. So I'm just anecdotal, like, so Joel is like very business oriented and like structured, and I'm like, yo, you got to move the table here, and we need to have the height of the monitors here, and no, that art needs to be placed here, and like I want it to have a certain style to it, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that it'll be really cool for the developers as they're showing, you know, like, so for instance, like each developer has these like little signs, and we kind of upgraded them, you know, like they're really huge, and we want them to take them home as pieces, you know, for the wall or whatnot, and because the developers, like, they always spend so much time not only on the game, but they want, like, you know, the old school Nintendo box art, you know what I'm saying? So they have their friends or themselves will paint these amazing illustrations, which they'll use on the signage, you know what I mean? And people are like drawn to this.
Yeah,
this stuff.
well, I know, because I know that not all the developers take the signs back home. So I've started to
steal them.
Not steal them. Ask if anyone wants to keep theirs, because they're just really cool just to have as a souvenir of participating in the mix of these games that you get to experience, and they just look really, like, to have that game art in that poster size is really cool.
You know what we did? I did some reorganization of our office, and and we actually put them all over the wall.
Yeah.
Like all the ones that I do keep them.
Yeah.
I keep the ones that people don't want, because you never know, like, just amazing games like Chasm or, you know, Salt and Sanctuary or, you know, Nidhogg that they'll like blow up, and sometimes we'll have those games at our event, you know, first. You know what I mean? Or, you know, we'll just have them along with Mega Booth or whatnot, but it doesn't matter. It's just like, oh my God, remember, like, we had Rocket League before they really like start marketing stuff like that, and I was like, what? We had Rocket League in here? Like, this is crazy, because I have the signage. I was like, oh my God, that was like 2014 or something like that, and they blew up, and it's like cool to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Even like to contribute in just a small way. You know what I mean? And you know, and I'm not taking credit for any of that, but it feels nice to be a part of that culture that's helping.
That's so neat.
Out, you know?
So people probably can't buy the signs anywhere, but like you said, they can get hats, shirts, all of that.
Hats
all
and
of that
shirts.
stuff to celebrate
we have
the mix.
hoodies to celebrate the mix. I mean, it's a really cool, really cool design.
Yeah, really cool
and you're
hats.
really, working to, I was going to say preserve. It ain't going nowhere, but it's like, it's not endangered species. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, that's what the mix is about. And I had a great time. Thank you, Twitch, for hosting us here. This is an amazing studio. Thank you all you guys for helping us out. Sully and I'm really bad with names, but I see y'all. Y'all look really cute. You know what I mean? Look at that heart right there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
I guess to start tying this up, do you have? I mean, it's so hard because I think someone had mentioned the caliber of the games just seems to raise every single year. I think every year I'm like, oh man, I think this was the best year yet. So many good games I can't pick, and I think that gets harder every year to pick favorites. But if you had one that like stuck out in your mind, what would you say is one of your games?
I played it earlier. What was the game's called? I can't remember.
Lost Souls?
No, it's not Lost Souls. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Lost Souls was amazing. But I'm gonna beat him. I don't know. I'm partial to those type of games. So
That's true.
It's really
Well,
that one.
And actually, there
I don't want
was
to seem biased. That's why I was like, I don't want to say that
Yeah.
game. But I really dig that game.
Well, and there was at the mix, one thing that I think is really neat is that there's a vote that happens, right?
Yeah.
There's awards that happens for different games of that night. And what were the games that were celebrated last night?
You gonna put me on the spot here?
Oh, no.
Blood Roots.
Yeah.
That one won. Calico won.
Calico was really cute.
Untitled Goose Game won. And what was the last one? Do you remember? See that you got
See, no,
killed
yeah,
me.
I got the
Now
first
they're
three with
now they're gonna
you.
shit on me because I don't remember the name and I announced them. But anyway, yeah, those games were. I mean,
Yeah.
all the games were amazing, but the judges picked those particular games to win best of the mix, and they had a particular style to them that was very very interesting and stood out. But I mean, honestly, there's just so many games there. It's crazy.
Right.
And
Well, and here's the thing. It's like that's why we have like the multiple streams, right? Because we can't.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't just pick 7. That's impossible. So having multiple streams allow us to showcase even more games.
yeah, and I would like to try to showcase even more. You know what I mean?
24-hour stream.
So I mean, follow us because we're going to be doing, more Twitch streaming with different, teams. Like we did one last night. Jenny was the host there too, and then we did one on GameSpot, of course. But we're going to be doing more of these as we move along. We're going to be working. John was here. I was in a state where I was a little bit low energy because we were up till 3 a.m. packing up and stuff. But yeah, we're working with Bit Summit, to do some stuff there. So we would love to do a stream, with them in Japan, and we're doing things internationally. So if you guys, feel free to hit us up to info@Media Indie Exchange if you wanted to, info@MediaIndieExchange.com or on Twitter @Indie Exchange or Media Indie Exchange on Instagram. Feel free to hit us up if you have any questions regarding game development, and because we can connect you with independent game developers, any of the developers that you saw on the stream. If you have any questions or comments or things that you think that we should possibly stream, because I mean, we're really well integrated in the indie scene and the culture. We do so much stuff during the year. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I think is that it? Are we there?
I think so.
Wow.
This is great.
This
It
is
was amazing.
awesome.
High five.
Yes. That was a solid high five.
That was solid.
That was a good high
It
five.
was a slapper, you know what I mean?
I'm like, that stung in the right way. So
That's hilarious.
you can tell we've been here for a while. Very happy to do it. But thank you again to Twitch and everyone who has been joining us on the stream, both today and yesterday, the developers, everyone who's helping make this a reality. We appreciate it very much. So I guess we'll call
Thank
it
you so
call
much.
it a night.
You guys are awesome.
All right. Bye, everyone.